Willy W. Rose might be 17. My normal brother Willy, my brother in normalcy, making a great point there. That's what Destiny's putting these women through. Wait, that's not true. Oh, he did look at the Mr. Girl report. He has. Oh, I'm doing the Leonardo DiCaprio. I'm doing the Leonardo DiCaprio Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. But I would also have like no moral issue talking to Destiny, right? I probably wouldn't because he's explicitly trying to get me killed. But Willy, you need to watch your back, bro. Okay, Willy, watch your back. Destiny is he will not be happy about this. I mean, if he has any consistent standards, it's not just about people who actually level criticism at him. I'm trying to make it sound as gay as possible. J-Stock just isn't getting there. He just can't get sort it out, you know. Because what is it, this guy? Strange psychosexual fascination this guy has with just like balls and cum. It's very, very odd, very strange behavior, very, very distorted mind, very distorted, abused mind. All right, so let's get into the WillyMacShow video.
Since my
we're gonna try and be normal, but obviously we're gonna be critical. Okay, we're gonna see if there's anything we have an issue with here. I'll give credit where it's due, but I will also be critical if I need to be, which I think is totally reasonable. I think that's totally reasonable, personally. I don't think we should just let you know, commentary slop go, oh, well, I'm a normal guy, so I don't even have to bother in my videos. It's like, all right, dude. Let's take a look.
In the video, a lot has changed. We have a court document from Pixie's legal team alleging that he was deleting evidence, specifically messages with multiple women, who have claimed that he shared sex videos with them without the participants' consent. So he wasn't just sharing videos with Rose, he was sending it to other women who then told Pixie. I had a conversation with Anna, who claims Destiny sent her videos of girls that she'd never seen before.
So, I've been sent videos.
I wasn't asked for an interview with Willy, but I probably wouldn't have done one anyway, so...
I have no way of knowing if they were consensually, like, recorded or sent.
In my last video, I made clear that if Destiny wanted to be taken seriously again, he'd have to own up to what he did. He's always preaching about accountability. But now when it's his time to finally own up, he doesn't. Instead, he tells me he's going to drop the manifesto to end all manifestos. I was not very confident as the evidence against him was already damning. He literally admitted fault. Aaron tells Destiny, you distributed it non-consensually. And Destiny replies, yeah, I know. I have damaged her severely. He tells Pixie,
Dude, okay. I saw someone mention this earlier. He misses the part that actually really is him taking fault here, right? I've damaged her severely. Hey, I know I violated your trust in the worst way ever, but here's some money, have fun. This is the actual part where it's like, he's saying he violated her trust. As in, she trusted him with something and he violated that.
Consensually. And Destiny replies, yeah, I know. I have damaged her severely. He tells Pixie, I'm so sorry, there's literally zero excuse. But he tries to recontextualize this in our interview.
When I sent that message to Pixie, and I was like, I feel fucking horrible. Like, I'm so sorry. Like, I've psychologically damaged you. You're like, this is horrible, whatever. I do feel horrible. It has nothing to do with whether or not I consented to send the video. I just feel horrible. It's something that I was in.
Dude, he can barely even get the words out. He's like, it's funny, when he's like obviously lying and like stressed about delivering the lie, his speech impediment starts coming out like crazy and he can't get the words out.
See, and I was like, I feel fucking horrible. Like, I'm so sorry. Like, I've psychologically damaged you. You're like, this is horrible, whatever. I do feel horrible. It has nothing to do with whether or not I consented to send the video. I just feel horrible. It's something that I was involved in, ended up leaking publicly. Like, even if she would have said, like, even if that wouldn't have been sent to anybody, if somebody would have, like, hacked my Google Drive, I would have said the exact same thing.
So was his manifesto good? Well, it seems to have persuaded much of his own community, with many of the top comments praising him. However, when you get down to the meat of the argument he's making, it doesn't change anything. I confront him about doxing, pedo-
Okay. Look, we'll give credit off the bat. That's my little clap. My little clap for WillyMac on his one good point immediately. Out the gate. He says, the argument doesn't change anything. Okay. Great, Willy. Good start. Great start. Good start, Willy. Guys, it's me being normal right now. It's me being normal. Because normal is when you say, commentary YouTubers good, lefties and people we don't like bad. Alright, guys? And weird is when you say, you should do your fucking job properly.
allegations, as well as converse with people from his past. This is the Destiny Manifesto, where there's DMs about you saying like, hey, I wish this person, has this person been doxxed yet?
Yeah, for Anna, that's bullshit. For Jessica and Kuihman, I'd kill him if I could. I'd choke the fucking house into it. Bro, I swear to God, if I quit streaming, I'm gonna fucking go on an assassination mission, okay? These people are gonna start disappearing one at a time, okay?
That's why this video was sponsored by...
Wow, tough guy, tough guy. I'm gonna literally fly to the UK with my 500 guns that I fucking bought to look like a tough guy on stream. I'm gonna fly to the UK with all my guns and fucking shoot you. Okay, bro. Okay, bro. Okay. I'm gonna traipse through the freezing tundra of Canada with a rucksack full of rifles, and I'm gonna find J-Stalk. Okay.
Aura. In a topic where people's personal information is being maliciously shared and posted online, it's an important reminder that people like you and me are just as vulnerable. Data brokers have websites where anyone could buy anyone else's personal information for just a few bucks. So it's important that you take the time to protect yourself. I do using Aura. Aura identifies brokers on your behalf. And Google your name.
These are why is Dan Saltman's top guy, Willy Slackjaw, shilling data broker removal services? Doesn't he know that these are a huge OPSEC concern? That there's no way to automate this process? So that means some underpaid, like, Taiwanese or fucking Indian guy is getting handed your identification to go and put this into a bunch of data broker websites and have your stuff taken down? That when you send them your passport identification, that's being kept with like, no fucking handling rules or anything by a bunch of random fucking third world workers? This is Dan Saltman's top guy?
That would otherwise be impossible to keep up with on your own. Seriously, just Google your name. You will see your address, phone numbers, family members popping up on all of these white pages websites. But if you give Aura just a bit of your personal information after—
Why are you like stopping using slurs is a bad thing? Because they're funny. They can be really funny. I think you should limit your vocabulary because the context is more important than the word you're saying. It's also bad to care about not hurting black people. I think it's bad to care about not hurting anyone. You shouldn't hurt people. I think it's embarrassing if you spend a significant amount of time every stream talking about how you don't want to hurt black people and Indian people in specific. I think if you spend it day after day talking about how you don't want to hurt black people and Indian people because black people and Indian people have such a rough time, I think that's very embarrassing. Yeah, I think that's very embarrassing for a young Jewish boy to be doing on his stream every single day.
After a few weeks, all of that will start to be taken down. You'll get less spam emails, less spam calls on your phone. It is genuinely life-changing. And Aura will continuously monitor the dark web and alert you if your personal information was exposed. You won't leave the back door to your house open at night, so why do it online? Plus, they give you up to $5 million of identity theft insurance should the worst case flash with the victim of these leaks.
It's incredibly bizarre how many—
Destiny's manifesto spends a lot of time clarifying that he is the biggest victim of these leaks.
It's incredibly bizarre how many people are fixated on insisting that I'm not a victim in this when I was the primary target of the entire revenge porn posting. While other people were undeniably harmed by these leaks, they were seen as collateral damage to the publisher of the material and the website providing hosting for it in the goal to attack me, whether it was through reputation, monetary harm, or just some other form of sadistic humiliation.
Nobody is denying that you are also a victim. Nobody is denying that the hacker is a bad guy, but the only reason there is collateral damage is you. If you didn't non-consensually share these girls' images, there would be nothing for the hacker to leak. I feel like he knows this. He's just trying to mitigate accountability in front of his audience. And Destiny's—
Yeah, just accepting the hacker claim. We're accepting the hacker claim for some reason.
Video, he does provide some background information on the hacker who goes by the name Solo.
Due diligence here. Due diligence being done here.
Sometime in the morning, and said that he was unhappy with how
not confirmed it was a hacker at all.
The coverage of the leaks had been so far. He felt as though people weren't giving it enough attention, so he was going to leak more from my logs with Rose if I didn't allow him to come on my stream and speak with me. I don't exactly remember what the message to me was, as I just woken up, read it, and then responded briefly before going back to sleep. The next time I checked my messages with him, everything had been deleted.
Luckily, I have the messages. The messages are Solo demanding Destiny talk to him on stream, or else he's going to leak all the DMs and videos he shared with Rose. He also threatens to release Rose's real age, saying, "You were negligent in verifying her age even after you joked about her looking so young that you would need her ID to make sure she was really even..."
Okay. And then we go to Willy W. So, Willy L accepting the hacker narrative. Willy W, Rose might be 17. Wow. Okay, so, look, this is me being normal here, okay? I'm being normal right now.
18. The only other time I heard this allegation of Rose being potentially underage is when I interviewed Kelly Jean.
So he tweeted like a bit over a week ago that the Rose girl was an
Well,
OnlyFans
if he'd
girl.
spoken to J-Stalk about this, he would know that Destiny actually expressed fear over this idea in DMs of J-Stalk, saying that the one thing he couldn't sweep is if she turns out to be 17.
She's not.
So-
She never had an OnlyFans. She was never on any platform that could have verified her identity.
Why is she known as like a Fansly OnlyFans e-girl?
She sold nudes via Twitter. So it's not that we're trying to say Destiny's a pedophile. It's that we're saying Destiny is reckless.
I'm gonna be real, she does end up doing that. It's very much what she would imply. She'd list all this evidence for why Destiny should
Kelly said on stream that J-Stalk declined talking to Willy, I think. WWWW.
suspicious that she was
But fair enough. He couldn't have known from J-Stalk then, regardless. I think pretty sure it's out there.
underage.
Also, didn't bother to check someone's like age, right? It's like a...
Should she claim she was underage?
She said she was 19 to him. That is true. But she also said, or 18 or 19. I think she said in messages she was 18 and then turned 19 is most likely the case. She was also saying, she was saying to Destiny, I can't come see you because my parents won't let me. So there was like a lot of like, within these messages, sort of tone indicators that this is a very young person. So when someone says OnlyFans, they're spreading a piece of misinformation in his benefit. Because if she did do OnlyFans, he could say, well, this website, which is known for verifying people's identity and age, says she's 19. Therefore, it's reasonable to think that she's 19. In this case,
I personally
there is
feel
none of
like that
right?
is too convoluted of an argument. And if she lied
How is that a convoluted... dude, if Kelly Jean can wrap her fucking head around it, you should be able to, Willy Slackjaw. What's the complicated argument? OnlyFans verifies age. If you say she had an OnlyFans, she has to be 18. It's that simple. She didn't have an OnlyFans. She was selling nudes on Twitter. Or we don't know that she had an OnlyFans. It has been shown that she had an OnlyFans, and no one can find that or any record of it. If Kelly Jean can wrap her fucking head around it, I'm sure you can, dude.
about her age, I'm probably not going to
Wasting your time taking normal pills.
accountable unless I see evidence that is very obvious that she's lying or he asked for ID or some shit and she's going no.
So he does do that. He kind of he makes a message saying,
Is that
do you
in the
have
leak that-
I'll have to find the exact quotation of when he mentions identity.
Kelly never proves this. She links me to the hacker telling Destiny she was underage, and Destiny replies saying she told him she was of age selling not safe for work material.
When we started talking, she told me she was of age. The solo guy on Kiwi Farms says as much. I don't think she's underage. I don't think she was ever underage. Well, I mean, except for when she was underage, but before I talked to her.
When navigating Kiwi Farms,
Wait, what did he
Solo
say?
guy on Kiwi Farms says as much. I don't think she's underage. I don't think she was ever underage. Well, I mean, except for when she was underage, but before I talked to her.
When navigating Kiwi Farms, the hacker himself would clarify in a later post, to Rose's knowledge, Destiny did not know her real age. And even if he did not make it known to her. I don't believe Destiny is a pedophile. Now, apparently there are DMs jokingly—
Wait, I thought Willy was too normal for this wacky little website. How come he figured out how to use this website in the last couple months?
He did not make it known to her. I don't believe Destiny is a pedophile. Now, apparently there are DMs jokingly asking for ID, commenting on how young she looks.
If I go to a club and I f someone underage, it doesn't matter that I ask for their age.
Yeah, I think I don't know what Willy's point is here, but obviously, yeah, there's not strong evidence to say she's underage. That's certainly true. If that's what he's getting at here, there's not strong evidence to say she was underage. It's just that there's not strong evidence either way, and there's a question mark there, right? But Destiny probably was told that she was of age. So it's like, how much are you really going to get on his ass for not IDing a 17-year-old who claimed to be 18 or 19? Like, I mean, should you ID? Yeah, but I can't, like, super get... It's funny. It would be funny if she was 17. It would be funny if she was 17. It would be very good to rip the fuck out of him with. But he wouldn't be like a pedophile. He wouldn't be like, you know, it's like a retarded attack, really.
If they turn out to be younger, you're still going to get prosecuted the same way. It's like the onus is on you. You can use that as a defense only to a point, especially if there are other reasons to believe this person could be underage, as there is in this case, or at least you are not sure. No, I don't think we can confirm their identity. So Rose's boyfriend says she was 17 at the time, and I don't know if she says she was 18 or 19 at the time of sending things.
I get what you're getting at. I need more before I'm comfortable going that far.
Yeah.
Kelly wasn't able to ever find me this message, so
is she trying to... Wait, but I feel like... Okay, how did she even come up? I thought you need the full interviews. How did this even come up in the conversation? Because if Kelly's trying to convince Willy of like an affirmative claim that she was 17, then yeah, that's retarded, and that's not shown. But if Kelly's just saying this guy didn't know the age, he didn't have good evidence of the age, really, that's true from what we can tell.
Ask Destiny about it. Did she ever engage with you or like show you like a site where maybe it did check for age verification at any point?
I'm trying to think of how much
like at some point.
No, well, the answer is yes. So like she was like an active user of I think Tinder to find hookups and shit. And Tinder is an 18 or older app.
And Destiny sent me messages he had with.
Does it verify age? It doesn't verify age. Tinder don't do age checks. What is he talking about? What is he talking about, dude?
Rose and her talking about using Tinder. I haven't used Tinder in like 8 years, so I don't know. Google says it verifies age. There needs to be more. Tinder. I haven't used Tinder in like 8 years, so I have used
Tinder at some point. I don't remember having to do an age verification or show ID or anything. I think you do it off of like phone number and. No, okay, wait. Wait, yeah, look. WillyMac is, I think he's looked at this, but he's too stupid. He's like too much of a midwit to actually read what the words say. Yeah, I can see. He's like, because WillyMac is like a slack-jawed moron, he can't like understand like a set of instructions or like terms. But fortunately, I have a reading level above that of a high schooler. So let me tell you what this says. The minimum age requirement for Tinder is 18 years old. Depending on your location, so in some locations, probably I would guess places like Texas that have like the porn laws and stuff like that. Depending on your location, you may be required to verify your age to prove that you're 18 years or older and comply with our terms of use. The following are considered valid forms of ID and are accepted for age verification. Driver's license, passport, health insurance card, Japan only. If you're located in the United States and participate in our ID verification process. So if you are both in the United States and in a part of the United States in which you have to verify your ID, or for some reason Tinder asks you to verify your ID, which they don't do in all the United States and they don't do on all new accounts, your information will be used to undergo a registered sex offender RSO check. When you provide your US ID, Tinder will run an RSO check using a third-party service provider. The information is shared, site to run check. So, no. In most states, I imagine, there is not going to be an age check when you make a new Tinder account. It's only going to be in places where they have those rules about over 18 services being required to check for ID, like in Texas, I believe. I think does Utah do it too? I think so, right?
As it verifies age, there needs to be more tangible evidence. Right now, the worst case scenario is that she might have lied to him. And that's the end of the good news for Destiny. Like, yes, congrats, you're not a pedophile, but the few extra wins he racks up during his manifesto are just so insignificant. You know, yes, Pixie did ask for a comical amount of money.
Her first demand letter to me was for a total apology, and then at least $15 million in...
Well, I'm pretty sure... No. The verification thing and ID verification thing are two different things, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure the verification thing, where you get the verified tick, isn't that just photo? The ID verification is a separate thing.
Compensation. Fuck that.
Yes, people weaponizing your nudes against you is wrong.
Was now in an impossible position. A revenge point of me was still being blasted across the internet with a family member.
Oh, okay. Yes, but they recently added an additional ID one, which shows another badge in addition to the tick. Completely optional in the UK. Okay. So there are two different sets. Yeah, so there are two different sets of verification on Tinder. There's a photo verification and ID verification. You can optionally do both, and some US jurisdictions require you to do the ID one. Okay.
Including my 13-year-old son, being spammed with explicit videos of me, sometimes even by popular social media personalities like Just a Minx. I guess it's because I'm a guy, it's cool. I'm trying to get better, but the image of Destiny sucking that cock is ruining it. Based. And then this is just her casually, you know, replying to tweets of mine. You know, it's good.
Jesus Christ.
Getting some good Twitter engagement here. Not that anybody gives a fuck because she's a girl and I'm a guy, but you know, it's all good.
Sue her. Sue all of them. Hold them accountable. But why would this make me view the Pixie situation any differently? What you're complaining about is what Pixie and everyone else you shared videos of has to go through now too. You chose to share videos of yourself with an
Good point, Willy.
They didn't. You made that decision.
Being normal here, guys. Being normal here. My normal brother Willy, my brother in normalcy, making a great point there. That's what Destiny's putting these women through.
For them. He acts like this is a risk everybody signed up for, which is not true.
For people who are extremely concerned with their privacy or material possibly leaking, I generally just recommend that we don't record anything at all, as there's always some risk that stuff can leak.
What he's not acknowledging is the risk was him. I'm seeing.
Well, I think he's just saying, like, yeah, take legal. If that's a problem, then yeah, do whatever recourse you have against them. I think that's what he's saying. I think he's saying sue them, or that he knows that they can sue. They can be sued.
Destiny in his DGG chat saying he's not going to sue the hacker anymore. I'm probably not going to push it any farther since it's just bad publicity for me now. And Pixie is forcing us both to waste tens of thousands of dollars fighting each other now. Lol W. So I'm supposed to care about the sob story with Minx and Kiwi Farms hosting his nudes when he doesn't even want to pursue the culprits anymore.
It's incredibly bizarre.
Good point, Willy. Appreciate that, Willy. That's a good point, Willy.
How many people are fixated on insisting
normal brother,
that I'm not a victim in this when I was the primary target of the entire revenge porn posting? While other people were undeniably harmed by these leaks, they were seen as collateral damage to the publisher of the material and the website providing hosting for it in the goal to attack me, whether it was through reputation, monetary harm, or just some other form of sadistic humiliation.
You were the primary target, but the collateral damage is because of you. Destiny never acknowledges this. He has the money to do it all. He's mad at Pixie though because in her story, he's not the victim. He's the bad guy. Now, Pixie took him to court, and part of when you do that is you don't get an instant public-facing apology. I understand that, but instead of staying quiet, Destiny claims he had implied consent because Pixie sent a video of herself with another guy before.
With that out of the way, conversations guessing as to whether or not any of the leaked material was consensually shared was a hot topic of discussion.
Okay. This could unravel completely. The implied consent thing, Willy could completely unravel on this. I'm totally ready for him to completely unravel on this. I'm hoping for the best. All right, this is gonna be. He's gonna be exceeding my expectations if he gets through this without saying something completely fucking stupid.
Following the initial leaks, Pixie would send messages to people to tell them that she had never sent videos of other people to me before, and she portrayed herself in her Substack as though I was the first person to ever suggest this to her, and I was the first person she ever recorded material with. I know that she's messaged people with stuff like this.
To me, her lying about the nature of their sexting would only make her a hypocrite. It doesn't make sharing other people's nudes without their consent okay. He doesn't even know if she didn't have consent.
Pixie was comfortable sending me videos of her and other identifiable men, with them even having saved the videos on their own phones. I took videos of some guy, I can send you later if you're interested. Sure, I'll send them to you when I get them. At no point in any of these conversations did Pixie ever mention having explicit consent from any of these other men to share these videos with me. I have no way of contacting them today to find out if she did. All this to say, consent was being reasonably understood by both sides of this situation.
What do you mean? How? He's assuming that she didn't have permission
from
this
good start. This is a good start to segment. Very normal.
This guy when he has no reason to believe.
I should say it's very abnormal for Willy, because he's picking apart and actually relatively, well, no, I wouldn't say relatively complex, but one of the more difficult to pick apart points here. So that's actually quite abnormal for Willy to successfully do that. But let's carry on.
And in what world does this give him consent to share her nudes? This makes no sense. This was
he's
the
very human,
manifestos
guys.
to
He's
end
very
all
human.
manifestos. And it's literally debunked by his own logic in our interview. One of the leaks on Kiwi Farms was a blowjob recording that happened with a guy he met on Grindr. And the recording allegedly starts before he walks into the guy's apartment. And if you read the DM of Destiny sharing the video to Rose, he says, "This is just the end. Again, audio scuffed because my phone was in my pocket," implying that the video was secretly recorded. Here is Destiny's defense.
Well, why would he have it in his pocket and not record the thing with the video? It must be because he's not letting the person know. He's secretly recording them.
Yeah, sure. So here, okay, so let me preface this by saying the only reason that
it's disgusting that people make me talk about this
recording that you're talking about is leaked is because I think all the girls that started messaging afterwards were like, oh my God, this might be non-consensual, blah, blah, blah. I think that group of people started leaking shit to Kiwi Farms of hookups that nobody is alleging anything wrong has happened. So it's very fucking annoying. And that what you're talking about, like literally audio, that entire thing is now just public for no reason. So that is revenge porn of me posted that everybody's just spreading because it's fucking epic and hilarious.
It's actually not, it's literally not revenge porn. If you want to be totally anal about the law, which Destiny loves to do, he absolutely loves to say, well, that's not revenge porn because I didn't spread it maliciously. That's not revenge porn either. This revenge porn is visual. It has to be visually identifiable. It can't be an audio. That's not revenge porn. Audio recordings aren't revenge porn.
Hilarious, okay?
That makes sense to me. If the guy involved isn't claiming wrongdoing at this point, who cares? It's irrelevant.
That being said, generally with guys on Grindr, there are guys that I've spoken with, and some people are like, hey, are you happy, or are you comfortable recording stuff? Do you want to do video? Most guys aren't comfortable with video. A couple have been, obviously, hence my fucking leaks. Some guys are like, okay, cool, you know, like audio is fine. I don't care as long as you can't identify. That's why I don't even know how many of my things have been leaked at this point, but like it's pretty obvious the guy can like see my phone or he said like, oh, yeah, whatever. I think for that particular one, now I think this recording was like 5 years or 4 years ago, so I don't fucking remember. But for this particular guy, he had said, listen, if you want to record your audio, that's fine, but like don't pull your phone out. I don't want to see it. I'm like really paranoid about my face getting recorded. And I'm like, okay, I'll just probably start it before I come to the apartment or whatever. He's like, that's fine. Just like don't pull your phone out because that would like, it's like he's just like paranoid about like me recording his face. I was like, okay, that was the
right
hookup story for that dude. But it's really gay to talk about this because, well, one, is actually gay, but then two, also nobody's alleging like any wrongdoing for any of these hookups. So it's like really weird that because other people are literally leaking and spreading revenge porn to me, and then they're having me like describe like this fucking hot
no one, you'd be retarded to believe this. You'd literally be retarded to believe this.
Like,
when he's been caught doing it with other people, you think he's asking people on Grindr.
He's even making an allegation of this. Like, I don't know if this is going to turn into like every single, like, I don't know if people are going to start leaking every single video I've ever recorded, and they're like, I need you to explain to me, like, what was the blah, blah, blah. It's like, nobody's going to make an allegation about this. Why the fuck are you talking about all my hookups? It's cringe and gross and weird, but that's my, yeah, I mean, that's for that, yeah.
If he's not complaining about it, then how do we know?
Nobody else, yeah, nobody else.
Yeah.
Started, yes.
But that same logic entirely debunks.
He literally, I'm pretty sure he pulls his phone out and stops the recording while he's still in the apartment during the recording. So the idea that he couldn't see the phone because he's paranoid about having his face recorded, I'm pretty sure that just falls flat. Because I'm pretty sure that in that recording you hear him pull it out and stop the recording when he doesn't seem to have left the apartment.
Destiny's implied consent defense for Pixie because that guy's not out here complaining. In fact, Pixie claims she had consent from him, actual consent to send those videos. She writes, this is false. This guy was my ex who consented to sharing. I was not recording random one-night stands. I'll be real, the DMs she links don't really prove anything, but then a guy named Tom asks, the question is whether or not you had consent to share the videos. She clarifies, I had consent. I believe the courts will exonerate me. So Destiny's entire defense of calling Pixie a hypocrite is debunked by his own logic. It comes off as incredibly desperate. She says, Destiny, you are now using intimate details of my life against me. I need you to stop. You've already shared some of my most intimate moments for the world to see. Why are you forcing me to share more? Another defense Destiny alludes to in his response is that he was part of the scandalous videos, therefore that makes it okay to share. In a way, Pixie is kind of like the perfect victim.
It seems like she shared nudes with you. You shared them with a third party. That party got hacked.
Wasn't nudes. Well, it wasn't nudes. It's fine. It's fine. It wasn't nudes.
It all leaks.
Wait, I want to clarify a couple things. Hold on, just real quick. I've never sent nudes that somebody sent me to somebody else. I've never done that before. It's really weird. I've only ever sent videos that I'm in. Now, sometimes those videos are with other people, but like in terms of me sending anything to another person, it's like it's because I'm in it, not because somebody else is in it. Just to be super clear on that. To some people, that doesn't matter. For other people, that's like a really big point, because when that post was written for Pixie, it was written like he wanted to show my body off and blah blah blah. That's not true at all. It's like, she's not even naked in that video.
That doesn't make any difference to me. He violated the person's trust in sharing the intimate video in the first place. Him being part of it or not changes nothing. It seems like the only reason he would bring this up is if he felt like there was some sort of legal distinction.
I talk about anything that's related, like specifically to any of the like, causes of action.
And then you say if it can be allowed in the video or not. Because if not, I'm not trying to fuck anybody. Okay?
What? Dude. I understand you've been credibly accused of sexual misconduct, but I'm gonna try to fuck you over here, man, okay?
You very much clarified you're part of these videos too. Guess what I'm wondering is, does that make a legal distinction? Is that why you
I would never,
clarified
I would
that?
never hurt you, Stephen. I would never hurt you, Stephen.
You very much clarified you're part of these videos too. Guess what I'm wondering is, does that make a legal distinction? Is that why you clarified that?
There's two parts that are really important that I'm okay comfortable talking about. So for one part of legal distinction here, and this is annoying because it applies legally and it applies morally, I think, and I guess it applies to the PR angle too. Like, I have never ever in my life tried to shit on somebody by sharing like a revenge porn thing of them.
You're talking about like the maliciousness of it.
Wait, that's not true. That's literally what he did during StarCraft shit. He was sharing around pictures of her, saying she looks like Shrek or whatever. Dude, that's just not true.
Try to shit on somebody by sharing like a revenge porn thing of them.
You're talking about like the maliciousness of it, right?
Yeah, because some people are saying oh, I was trying to humiliate, because I'm trying to humiliate. Like, no, I've never in my life have I done that. I would never do it. Well, I mean,
dude, what? Twice the double down. Never in my life. Never in my life. Well,
there was 14 years ago with the one blue tea girl. That was shitty behavior of me for sure.
Blue tea was somebody that Destiny sexted and then shared their nudes with his buddies, at least according to Ryan Beard's video, an old forum post I could find online.
Just thought it would be funny to share this woman's private nudes with his friends and joke about how hideous her face is compared to her beautiful body. And he also insulted her because he thought she looked like Shrek. So he shared a woman's private nudes without consent for the purpose of degrading her. In response, Blue Tea hacked Destiny's Twitter and tweeted out pictures of his dick.
She didn't deserve any of that. That was me being a retard or whatever. I agree with that. But I've never in my life, I've never sending videos or pictures and oh yeah, this is going to humiliate this person. Huh? That's just insane. Okay, that claim is insane. Nothing that's leaked from my logs implies that. I've never had a conversation leaked that implies that I would ever do that to somebody. That's just wild. Yeah.
Just to be clear, these, because I have not seen the videos, just to be clear.
Okay. I don't think there is a case where you can say definitively Destiny shared this intimate footage, recording, whatever, for the purposes of harassing and demeaning the person. Now, what Destiny has done is he has said, Anna, if you dare leak anything about our conversations, I will blast your fucking nudes out.
There is videos of Pixies that were leaked. She was not aware that you shared these with Rose.
I can't speak to that. I will clarify one thing.
Fair enough.
It's video. It's one singular video.
The Blue Tea drama happened in 2012, and if he was caught sharing nudes then, and he was caught sharing nudes now, that means he was probably sharing nudes in all the years in between.
Okay. Normal point from Willy. Normal point from Willy. Great normal point from Willy. Thank you, Willy. Normal point. Thank you, Willy.
In fact, right after the Pixie drama blew up in January, DMs from a girl named Hannah leaked showing Destiny seemingly still trying to share nudes, saying, oof, I guess—
Willy being very normal right now, having a wife and touching grass is coming in clutch right now, okay?
Now that some stuff is leaked, LMAO, if you want videos of me eating, I got them. She laughs and then says, haha, no, don't show me that. Those are super private. I can't imagine how it feels having something so private be public, even if you were poly. Now this is crazy because behind the scenes, Pixie is saying he ruined her life and is posting her suicide note to him less than a month earlier. And if he was still doing this, that is psychotic behavior. Now Destiny would claim that this was all just edgy jokes that took place when they were flirting. He deleted his DMs, so it's hard to understand the full context.
This is half on the record, off the record. I don't give a fuck. Figure out what you want to put on, okay?
Well, hold on.
A lot of dark humor, okay? I've made jokes about a lot of things that people come back and try to make me sound like a sociopath. Like me and my kid's mom used to be physically abusive towards each other. And some people will link clips of me talking about it 10 years ago. He said he used to choke out his ex.
Even if he went down to hold her to stop throwing shit instead of hitting her, I'm almost 100% sure everyone would be saying the same shit.
Okay, but it wasn't. It's not a joke, is it? It's said in a funny way, but it's a true story as far as I'm aware. It's not a joke. He did choke out his ex-wife. That's not, like, it's not a joke that I joked out. No, you choked out your ex-wife, and then you told the story in a funny way on stream years later.
Shit. He had to leave or he is going to... Yeah, of course! Dude, I wish I would have filmed my shit with Rachel. I wouldn't have any fucking fans today because you guys would probably think I'm a fucking abuser too. Guaranteed. Because you better fucking believe I had to fucking choke her out a few fucking times. That shit got crazy. Hell yeah, it did. And I guarantee you that everybody here would probably think I'm a fucking crazy physical abuser too, sure.
And I'm like, I'm joking when I say this shit. Or people say like, oh, Destiny's happy that his best friend committed suicide when he was 20 because he jokes about it. It's like, I do joke about it. I joke about a lot of crazy shit. I've joked about Rexful killing himself. There's also sad about it. So me and Hannah had been chatting maybe for on and off for like a year, had never been sexual ever, not even remotely sexual and anything ever. And then as of like, you have the dates on the messages. Was it like 2 months ago or 3 months ago?
It was, yeah.
I think she makes a joke with about Merc. Oh, and she deleted all those messages. Very clever. But she makes a joke about Merc and she's like, oh my God, I just saw you with that crazy girl Merc arguing with her. And then she's like, just so you know, I would never ever out any of your advances, LOL. And so when I see a message like that, I'm like, oh, that's a green light to flirt, I guess. And then I think our next conversation starts getting more flirty. And then she makes a reference to something about like videos or like, oh, like, or something sexual or whatever. And I think I make the joke and I'm like, hey, listen, if you're looking for videos of me, they're still up on Kiwi Farms, LOL, which is true. But like, that was the extent of my message.
I can't prove anybody right or wrong here because they both deleted messages. And to be fair to him, he didn't send anything. But if she said yes to the offer, would he have? That's up to you to decide.
Would never, I don't want to...
We've ever directed people to Destiny's KF. I don't think I've ever said, go there and look. I don't think I've ever done that. No, I've probably mentioned the KF and said something is on there. I've said that is on the KF. I don't think I've ever gone, go over there. I don't think I've done that. I don't know, truly.
I'm not going to drag any of these people... Okay, but I will say, like, I don't want to do any, I'm not going to do any of this, okay, but like, there are so many girls that send me messages, I'm not even sure, but like, there's so many girls that send me messages like this when
Also, I don't think there's an issue with directing someone to the like a KF, inherently. There's not an inherent issue with directing someone to KF. The reason I would criticize him doing it with Anna is because they were in a sexual relationship and she was being doxxed on there. That's pretty abusive to do to someone you're in a sexual relationship with. The reason I would criticize Destiny for it now is also because he has set up standards that you can't... That he says that if you even, you know, like, source from there, you're this horrible, evil person and you deserve to be killed. That's what he says now. So, I would criticize him on those grounds too. But simply talking about a KF or saying that something's on there or even linking something on KF, as long as you're not linking, like, straight fucking docs information or, like, trying to do something fuck like that. Well, obviously, intention and context matter a bit. But, yeah, broadly, I don't think there's an inherent wrong in linking to a KF or something like that. No.
I think it was leaking, okay?
Hold on, you just sent me something? Let me take a look. Would find the leaked videos if... I'm sure if I looked, you know, for science. Damn, so you're still getting fucking hit up. Even after you've been labeled an abusive piece of shit, they're still trying to get...
Okay, who's surprised?
Yeah, but I'm just saying, just to give more context, like, the environment is like, everybody back here, not everybody, but like, there's a lot of corny people, they say shit like this, whatever. It's whatever to me. But like, if a message of mine got leaked like that, or I guess like that Hannah girl tried to, and it even showed up in Pixie's complaint, he's still offering women. It's like, no, bro, people are...
Yo, thank you, Nate, for the 20 gifted memberships. Thank you, Nate. Hugely appreciated. Also, Spencer Howard, don't know, missed. I'm already mega felted today. I don't hate Willy as much as you, but I'd rather you not group me with him as a married man with 10 acres family of Fox Girl and favourite breeding hen. Okay, well, rip Spencer's favourite hen. R.I.P. Spencer's favourite hen. Big R.I.P.
hitting me up and they're like flirting with me or whatever, and I'm like, hey, listen, my shit's on Kiwi Farms, LOL. Like, that's not like a sincere offer to send anything, and like, my shit is still publicly hosted, so what the fuck do you want me to say? Like, yeah, but it's retarded. Like, people take it way too seriously. Like, well, just as a quick example for that Hannah girl, right? This is a person I talked to for a year, no problems whatsoever.
Oh, I probably directed Willy, actually. No, I probably did direct Willy to Destiny's KF. I probably literally said to Willy, go read the fucking KF, retard. But I think that's fair. I think that's a perfectly good context to direct someone to KF. I think that's totally fair. Again, I don't think it's inherently wrong. I think saying, hey, retard, you're making commentary videos. You should probably read the biggest archival website for internet drama and gossip that exists. You should probably check that out.
After she sends me that message, I find out like 2 days later she's also in Jessica's server, and then she starts spamming my DMs with her into that server. Like after deleting some of hers, and I'm like, what the fuck? Am I getting like set up by these like random women that I've never had a problem with in my entire life?
Now, I don't know why any woman would trust Destiny enough to try and hook up with him still after all this, but that is happening. Now, Destiny deleting DMs is interesting because Pixie's legal team has cited him doing this as a way to try and cover up evidence. On January 21st, 2025, aware of the impending lawsuit and potential criminal investigation, Bono starts destroying evidence, including deleting messages between
It's insane that as someone making videos on internet drama, you haven't looked at it. Like, it just doesn't make any sense why you wouldn't. But yeah, bad things happen on there. Things that I think are wrong happen on there and are done by people who use it. But I don't know why you wouldn't use the information. There is good information. There is good archiving.
With my entire life.
Now, I don't know why any woman would trust Destiny enough to try and hook
so you
up
shouldn't trust the narratives wholesale, obviously. That's fucking retarded. But you shouldn't do it with any website.
With them still after all this, but that is happening. Now, Destiny deleting DMs is interesting because Pixie's legal team has cited him
like doxing happens on Twitter, doxing happens on TikTok, doxing happens on Facebook, doxing happens on... Like, the idea that you can't link a website because doxing happens, that's insane.
This is a way to try and cover up evidence. On January 21st, 2025, aware of the impending lawsuit and potential criminal investigation, Bono starts destroying evidence, including deleting messages between him and the plaintiff. Is this something you have done?
It's all about context and intention and what you're linking, you know?
Try and hide or cover up anything?
What can I say publicly about this? This is what I'll say, okay? I have a right to delete any message that I want ever, okay? Number one. Number two, if somebody wants to talk about records for a court case, so for instance, typically when you file a civil suit against somebody, you'll send them like a request for preservation of evidence. That doesn't mean I can't delete my message on Discord. It just means that I need to make a backup or an archive of anything that I have deleted on Discord that's not available to other people to make sure I have my own records there so that I can send that if a request is made in Discovery. I have complied.
Well, you have to preserve the chain of evidence too, right, or whatever. You have to, like, there's more to it than that. It's not just I have to have a copy of it.
100% with any preservation of evidence request that's been made to me. 100%. So,
did Sunday's video provoke you into deleting more messages?
It was either that or before. Yeah, when people started to like taste like shit from me around, I started. No, actually, it was, I think in December, I think I started running a redact across my whole fucking account. It took like a month or whatever to finish, but I like, basically every message I sent before January 1st, I wiped from every fucking message because I was like, I don't know. Because my main concern, it wasn't actually even related to like Pixie or anything else, but my main concern was one thing that I didn't think about, that I have to think about, when people interpreted this, I guess if you want, this could be on the record, I don't care. No, like this could be
everything you said so far regarding this, I'm assuming is on the record, right?
Okay. When I sent that message to Pixie and I was like, I feel horrible. Like, I'm so sorry. Like, I've psychologically damaged you. You're like, this is horrible, whatever. I do feel horrible. It has nothing to do with whether or not I consented to send the video. I just feel horrible that something that I was involved in ended up leaking publicly.
So he's saying he preserved the deleted DMs for the court case only, but he's also recontextualizing DMs of him admitting fault. If you remember, Destiny replied to Nick, I didn't admit to anything. Nick would reply with DMs of Destiny saying, yeah, I know, I have damaged her severely, seemingly acknowledging that he's the one responsible. He's now saying that this is not the case.
Like, even if she would have said, like, even if that wouldn't have been sent to anybody.
I think it's wrong of him to redact his logs if he saved an archive. If the archive complies with the law and how the law expects you to have preserved that data, then there's nothing wrong with that. Yes, it is his right to delete or whatever. Yeah, I don't have... Like, yeah, you can delete whatever messages you want, obviously. Unless you are doing so to escape accountability, right? If you are deleting things in a way that makes it so the legal system will not be able to do its job, that's completely wrong. That's completely fucked.
If somebody would have like hacked my Google Drive, I would have said the exact same thing. Holy, I feel so horrible. I'm so sorry. This is like terrible. Like, I'm sorry. You didn't deserve this at all. Like, this is really bad. I'm so sorry. Like, it has nothing to do with whether or not I sent it consensually. It just has to do with the fact that because of like whatever my actions or whatever, like at some point, like shit got leaked. That being said, go ahead. Oh, well, I was gonna say that being said, one thing that I just, and maybe it's just me being stupid, but one thing I never considered before was regardless of if I'm vetting people appropriately or not for setting material, I never considered what if somebody else gets on somebody else's account. So after stuff started leaking like in November or like I think in early December, I started to run a redact on everything because now I'm thinking, well, fuck, what if like a boyfriend, a sister, a father, what if somebody dies and like a friend gets a hold of their account and they log in and they see a bunch of explicit material? I'm just gonna fucking wipe all my convos and everything because I don't want to risk like other people's shit leaking or my shit leaking as a result of that.
Did you delete anything in an attempt to hide stuff for the court case?
No, I have digital copies of everything. Like Redact literally has an auto archive thing, and Discord allows you to archive all of your conversations before doing anything. So I've complied with every court request that I've gotten. Yeah, the fuck.
I feel like I've asked this before.
Well, we'll see if that's true. We'll see if that's true, I guess.
If you can't be on the record, fair enough, too.
Sure.
But I just want to reiterate since we brought it up again. Did Pixie ever know you were sharing stuff with Rose? That involved her. It's both of you, I understand, but that involved her as well.
For claims that are like, these are like the hyper-specific claims that this court case is going to deal with, I can't, on advice of counsel, I can't talk about those things in particular.
Okay, fair enough then.
I will say that when we recorded stuff, I was either married to or I was engaged with Melina at the time. And so, I mean, at the very least, like that's one person that I'd be sharing stuff with that she would know, obviously, right? But
what is he on about? He's already said it. He's taking responsibility without taking responsibility. It's hilarious. If you're still defending Destiny over this Pixie stuff, why?
Like, this is really bad. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, he's doing okay right now. Well, he's doing okay. Very normal video at the moment.
It just has to do with the fact that because of like whatever my actions or whatever, like at some point, like shit got leaked.
I find it absurd that he's apologizing not for sharing the videos non-consensually, but for the hacker leaking them. Bro, the girls didn't want him shared in the first place. I can't get into it in the interview because he wanted all of that off the record. But it all comes back to this implied consent argument, which we've already determined is ridiculous. Now, I don't know what the result of their court case will be. If what he did was illegal, I'm not a lawyer, I don't know. But I do know that what he did was wrong, and that should be obvious to everyone.
I don't wanna set the world on fire.
The biggest video to come out on Destiny was the content nuke by Ryan Beard, and I wanted to touch on the pattern of abuse he builds up in it. At some point, if you date enough girls that are crazy,
let's hear it.
At some point, do you feel like you are the only consistent factor there?
Yeah, for sure. But I mean, there's a lot of things about my life that's like super atypical. Wow. That would draw those types
guys,
of people.
You don't understand, guys. Normies just don't get it. I have to chain fuck the most mentally ill, mentally retarded 18-year-old girls non-stop because normies just don't get this internet shit. Normies just don't get it.
Induce that type of behavior as well. The issue with the video, like Ryan Beard's, it's Ryan Beard, right?
Have you watched it before we comment on it?
And I thought about. Yeah, I watched it because I thought about like, do I want to do like a long-term response and go through like every single claim?
Okay.
The problem is that like one, you're working with a full like 15 years of me having one of the most public lives on the internet. So basically anything I've been involved in is going to be out there for better or for worse, sometimes in the worst light possible. That being said, like, I mean, there are things that I've done that are just like legitimately bad. Like I shouldn't have done them. Like the Mia Rose stuff, that was bad. Like I admit that.
The Mia Rose drama was in 2011. Destiny got drunk on stream and sexually assaulted Mia.
If I was a real friend, I would make you. Okay, stop. Go. Oh my god.
Listen, I'm gonna apologize. Yeah, say sorry. So
Get the
Like there was a time when I got like, it was probably one of the people say I'm like making justifications, but I'm not. Like it was bad, but I got like super wasted for like the first time in my life on a stream. I think when I was like 22, and I was like grabbing me Rose's boobs when we were streaming or whatever. We were doing a vacation.
He was so drunk for literally the first time ever. Literally the first time ever. He was such a baby.
Thing in like Utah, and it was bad. But I mean, like I've talked to her since. Like I've apologized. I mean, there's nothing else I can do. It's always like strange to me when people like Ryan will make.
Hasn't she said that he didn't apologize?
Videos and say like he needs to take accountability, and it's like this happened 13 years ago. Like I've apologized. I don't know what else you want me to say. It's not like I don't think it's good behavior.
He keeps going to say it and then stopping himself.
Obviously it was bad. Like I don't know what I'm supposed to do about that.
And Mia, as recently as 2022, has corroborated this, saying, "At the end of the day, he assaulted me. He apologized."
Oh. No, he has apologized.
And we left it alone. And the point of Ryan doing this was to show that Destiny has always treated women poorly.
Why did I think he didn't apologize? I think I had that from the Ryan Beard video. What did he say about that in the video?
His best example that he brought up was Anna Voir. Anna was somebody who hooked up with Destiny, and then they'd get into a fight, she'd cry on stream.
Steven, you lied. You lied, and like you.
I don't wish to bring anybody any.
After assaulting her, he says, "Listen, I'm gonna apologize to you so much tomorrow."
Listen, I'm gonna apologize
Yeah,
to you
say sorry.
so much
Get
tomorrow.
this.
Why would you need to apologize to her tomorrow, Destiny? Is it maybe because you understood that what you were doing was wrong? And I'm drag with dang, calling not everybody would like him to. She acknowledges that Destiny has never directly.
Oh no, she said a year later, would love an apology. I don't think he ever will. But everyone that was there, even the stream viewers could see, we didn't make him drink. We were all drinking. Isn't a past grabbing on live stream?
Apologize to her even though she would like him to. She acknowledges that he has indirectly apologized on his.
He has apologized on streams and such, indirectly. It's fine, I know you're... So, oh, right, okay. He did apologize on stream. He's apologized to other people when they press him on it. He hasn't apologized to the person he did it to. Okay.
Does he have any children?
Shut up.
You misrepresented so many things, Steven, and you know you did this. I mean, you've apologized to me in private, but you won't do it publicly.
So hold on. Stop trying to act like it's so much different.
You're very irresponsible.
Oh wait, yeah, no, that's true. That's true. She said in that tweet she accepted it. Yeah, I don't know if I trust her. Yeah, I'm gonna assume for now that Destiny did apologize just on this one instance because that story is very inconsistent. She says she accepted it, and then a year later says she only got an indirect apology. How did you accept it if it was indirect? Doesn't make any sense.
It is, Steven. Don't pull this.
Destiny would label her as a stalker, like he can't get away from her.
Well, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. If anybody else here has advice, hold on for 1 second.
Hold on, Steven.
I mean, obviously.
Are you saying you're being held hostage?
Yes,
told you what to do, bro.
John, I'm being harassed by an undefeatable opponent, right? You understand? She has nothing to lose. She can carry this out for the rest of her life, and there's nothing I can do about it.
But then in the meantime, he'd be sexting her.
He did stalk me.
That she locked. Okay, then why are you sexting with her still?
We're cool. We've been cool for a year, man.
This was the hardest shit of all time. Can we just remember how hard these streams went? This moment, these streams, this like week. The nuclear opening, and then Max came in. And Max absolutely just fucking raped him. It was like the absolute most rattled you'd ever seen Destiny. Ever. Dude, it was fucking awesome. It was so good.
Max?
Okay, so you acknowledge that you've been sexting with her for a year.
Yeah, we've had on and off, sure. Max, can you acknowledge that I haven't said anything bad about her for a year? I've said we've been fine.
Dude,
I've said that
The last time I talked to you about her, like 2 weeks ago.
And then Max gets on his stream and he's just like, he's like doing this whole like, you know, Destiny it's so good. Oh my god.
15 days ago or something, you said that she locked you in the basement of her mind and it was a traumatic experience for you. Locked you in the basement of her mind.
In the past. In the past, Max.
Oh, okay.
Why? Tell me, Max, why hasn't Anna come forward with any of this information now? Can you tell me, or do you want me to tell everybody why?
I don't want to speak on her behalf.
Okay, I will. It's because she said she literally wants to remain friends with me.
And after seeing this, it makes me feel terrible for Anna, who was crying about this very thing for years.
I've told you multiple times, if you don't want to be friends with me, then stop. But, like, you don't do that. I've told you multiple times. Stop this narrative, Steven, of, like, oh, stalker and stuff. You're the one f***ing calling me
it's just like, fuck it. It's like, almost, this was, like, funny at the time when if you were, like, bought into the like, Anna's a totally crazy story. You watch it now, and it's, like, actually, like, unsettling. It's like, dude, what the fuck? This guy's insane.
Goodness, thank you for the raid, Cherry. Very kind of you.
Is that, huh?
Very kind of you. Hello.
Number 2, I'm pretty sure.
Hello, Cherry. Welcome, welcome.
It was like a
This panel is insane. Everyone's here to just suck up clout from this poor girl's mental breakdown. Now, Destiny claims the reality of this situation was different.
It's one of those things where, like, when you dive into the details, it becomes a lot kind of more murky and dumb.
Right.
So, like, I think that the Anna Voir story is interesting to look at. Like, people will make claims like, oh, like he was sexting her and then he was calling her crazy at the same time. People will compress time spans of like months into single days, where it'll be like, yeah, we might have had like a sexual conversation like in November, And then in like December, she is like tweeting or streaming about me again on something that I consider like unhinged. I'm like, Jesus, this person's like unhinged. I don't know what to do. And we went back and forth like that, probably for, I don't know, man, maybe a year or something. Well, I don't know. Here, this is my take on this. Okay, so if you want to push it after, maybe I guess. But like, this is my thing. Anna Boir was like 30 something years old, 30 years old maybe, and I think I was 32 or 33. Like, we're both adults. Like, when people start applying terms like gaslight and crazy making and abuser, like, I think she had really unhinged behavior. She admits that she has OCD.
Okay, so you just wait. So you can't psychologically abuse people over 30. What? People over 30 cannot be psychologically abused. They're like when you turn 30, you get like a Magneto helmet, and it makes it so if someone does things to you, then denies ever doing them and calls you crazy, there's no way that can have an effect on you. Your mind is impenetrable. It can never fuck with you, ever. If someone goes out and smears you in public, and then gets into DMs with you, and you ask them, hey, can you fix my reputation, please? And they say, maybe one day I'll do that, but until then, I just want to keep rubbing your legs and feet. There's absolutely no way that can ever manipulate you into continued sexual interactions. That's like completely impossible if you're over 30. Very awesome stuff, Destiny. Very intelligent analysis here. This is we're getting towards a level of is this better or worse than Denim saying that 4-year-olds can't form memories? Which one? 4-year-olds can't form memories, or 30-year-olds can't be abused?
I got medicated for it. It was better. Maybe there was like better ways that I could have handled the situation for sure. Like, I think, especially in retrospect, and even prospectively, maybe there are better things I could have done. But it's like, it's two adults. The worst thing that ever happened here was, I don't even know what the worst thing is. I guess like she became like obsessively streaming about me, and then I said she was crazy online. Like, that's
what about you threatening to leak her nudes? What about that one?
That's it. I don't know how people have found a way to make this like one of the most abusive situations of the universe. It's like,
you're calling her a stalker at the same time you're sexting her. I don't know if I want to say abusive, but you could see the emotional confusion.
I understand what I'm going to say, but like, this is, and I'm so sorry. Like, I've been so gentle with all these online communities, but all of us are adults. We're 30 plus years old. Okay, turn off the computer. Like, I think this is so unbelievably overblown. Like, if you don't want to talk to me or if you don't do anything to me, then just stop broadcasting about me, stop talking about me constantly. Like, that's it.
So I interviewed Anna, and she claims that he was sexting her and sending her mixed messages recently after she crashes out on stream.
Yeah, our fighting has honestly been like so on and off. Like, it's been so...
Why do you guys keep fucking sexting in between fighting each other? What is with that whole thing?
You know, it's really weird. I know it was very toxic.
So was there anything abusive going on there?
So I used to say that I considered his behavior against me to be abusive. Now I'm not really so sure I would call it abusive. I felt like it was. I definitely felt like it was. At the time, it felt very abusive to me. I would say that he definitely mistreated me, but I don't know if I would go as far as to call it abuse anymore.
Well, it's a good thing that we all have minds of our own, and we don't just rely purely on the alleged victim's read of this. So, and thankfully, also, someone did the absolute mountainous task of compiling a huge report on this sort of behavior, where he talks about the DMs in extended detail and points out the ways in which they're abusive. So hopefully, he's had a glance at that.
Was there times where you guys were sexting and it was cool as he's talking just mad shit?
Yeah, I do. I'm pretty sure there were. I mean, definitely, I am pretty freaking sure that he still called me crazy and stuff when we were sexting. I'm pretty sure he would still be on stream because, like, we argued about. Because wait a minute, hold on, we argued about it.
Yeah, you begged him to fix your reputation. He said, "Not yet. I want to keep rubbing your legs and feet." Yeah.
It's all like coming back to me now. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, I mean you're going back like what, 2 or 3 years now.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah,
we're gonna get some. I think we get some Anna DMs here. Let's see. It doesn't look like we get any Mr. Girl report, but we'll see.
Like, we had fights about this, like, and him being like, "Oh, well, you know, Oh yeah, this one. Okay, wait, I'll send you one. Like him saying like he can't publicly defend me because he thinks it'll bring more drama or whatever. And
she sent me DMs of Destiny saying, it's just me being defensive, referring to when he calls her a psycho stalker. Here's Destiny saying, yeah, well, I can't publicly defend you because then it's obvious we're talking again. If I get defensive.
Okay, this is a good one. That's a good one.
That's the assumption people will make. So I have to act like I don't know why you're in chat. So he was just totally fine with people thinking she was crazy as he's romantically involved with her. That would drive anyone insane.
Because it's obvious we're talking again. So he didn't want people to know that you guys were talking. But this is all the way in 2021. Did this go on for like 2 years?
Kind of.
This went on and off for 2 years?
Yeah, kind of.
Holy shit.
It's very much like a toxic relationship kind of thing.
It definitely was. It definitely, except you guys weren't, did you guys live in the same state or was it all over online?
It was all online pretty much. I mean, he came to visit me,
dude,
but
you guys are full on Zoomers, dude. You guys were
no, this is 2 people in their 30s. No, this is actually 2 people in their 30s.
Basically.
When she went to leak their sex chat to prove that this was happening, Destiny would then threaten his DGG chat to leak her nudes. Tell Anna if she leaks my sexting.
Okay, we're getting this. You can probably piece together that this abusive, I think, right, WillyMac?
Yeah, I might have some pics to share.
But I genuinely was kind of scared of him, and when he blocked me, I was really scared that he was gonna, like, leak my things.
What was the reasoning behind that?
It was because I was threatening to leak his sex. Because I was saying...
What the fuck is going on over there, man? What are you guys all doing? What are you guys all doing over there?
All doing? No, just him. No, it's just him. No, it's just Des. What do you mean, all you guys?
Some shit.
Yeah, I know. So the reason why I was saying, like, you know, I'm gonna have to, like, leak our sexting if you don't stop saying that I'm stalking you, because we literally have been, like, sexting and, like, you're saying I'm a stalker and people are, like, harassing the shit out of me and, like, doxing me and, like, you know, so that's basically what the context was. And that I was saying, like, you know, I mean, I'm not going to leak much, but I feel like I might have to leak some of our sexting or something to show people that, like, I'm not stalking you.
To defend yourself is what you're saying.
Yes, yeah.
Okay. The stuff Destiny was telling me of, oh, she just needs to be an adult and break it off, that sounds great on paper, and Anna to some degree acknowledges that. But you're also leading around while defaming her to thousands of people.
Call the situation like that I'm some...
Okay, not too bad. It would be good, I think, getting the foot rub DMs in here. That would be key. That would be absolutely key.
Manipulative, evil, abusive person.
But I think he's going to miss it. Unfortunately, most of this segment's okay. He presents Destiny's argument, talks to Anna, shows some DMs to knock it down, and then goes back to Destiny. I assume it's going to end in a quite, you know, Destiny's a retard way. But I think the foot rub DMs would really sell this.
Say I should have treated her like an actual child and said, no, don't do this anymore and blah, blah, blah. But it's like, I mean, fuck, like these are all adults, and the worst thing that's happening is like people cheating on each other online.
Yeah, also
like,
the fact she's got like OCD that Destiny knew, specifically focused on ruminating on her public perception online. Like, that's like a pretty key part too, because that diminishes her agency in specific regards to what is happening between her and Destiny, right?
Retarded, I think. The only reason why people are trying to do this like Anna Voir situation where it is because they have this idea in mind of like, I'm like trying to lead her on privately in these crazy ways, and I'm like publicly lambasting her at the same time, and I'm playing this, I think Lav and Mr. Girl coined this concept of like, I get off on this sadistic abuse of women or whatever.
Yeah,
but like that's not it. It's like, yeah, but it's like, if you look, there's like tons of relationships, friendships, like
please tell us the other. I would love to hear the other explanation.
So benefits, whatever, situationships where like people kind of like yo-yo back and forth at the end, like they shit on each other, they get back together, shit, whatever. It's like, it happens. It's not, who cares? Like,
okay,
none of this is that big of a deal. It's all like fucking retarded. Like, this is stupid. Like, I don't know.
Right.
It's just dumb. And then people will say like that thing of like, you're sexing Anna and calling her like an abuser at the same time. Like, not really. There's like weeks plus between these events, because for like a whole like 6-month period, there was a time where like me and Anna were like friendly, and then she would go public, and then like, she'd go on her stream and she'd be like, I think that Steven is lying about me. And then we'd talk a little bit, and then we'd be friendly again. And then after like a few weeks, she'd be like, I think Steven lied about me. And it's just like, but it's her getting triggered by things in chat like over and over and over again. And people knew they could trigger her, so they would keep doing it. And then like, we did that pattern for like 6 to 12 months. It was fucking retarded.
But
also, guys, how far in are we? 38 minutes. We're like halfway in, guys. Halfway in. That means it's a great time to remind the 617 people that are here right now that they should be moving their cursor to the thumbs up and clicking it, or pressing the thumbs up on their mobile device. Those 617 people also should consider the idea that streams truly, they run on financial support more than anything. They run on financial support. Everyone runs on financial support, really, deep down. So there is a way to provide financial support. Several ways, in fact, which I'm going to tell you about right now. So there's a Stream Elements link in the pinned chat message. That's awesome. We love Stream Elements donations, where you can donate. You can also buy a membership to the YouTube channel, gift a membership to the YouTube channel, gift a whole bunch of memberships randomly throughout the chat, buy a super chat, which will highlight a message and read it out on TTS, or buy a super sticker, which is a YouTube image or GIF. They'll be highlighted in chat, and I'll describe it to you. You go to discord.gg/Kuihman, twitter.com/Kuihman, or reddit.com/r/Kuihman. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
She's crying, and at the same time you're sexting her.
I don't know if that ever happened
We'll
at
do
the
goals
same
as well,
time. What do you mean by same time? These are like weeks. These incidences are happening like weeks
hard.
apart.
I don't know. I'm getting caught up a bit in this interview. Whether it's days or weeks doesn't matter. He's sexting her, telling her to deal with the slander, and then when she goes to post proof, he's threatening her with her nudes. Some of the time periods between them sexting and fighting was only 2 days.
Oh, he did look at the Mr. Girl report. He has... Oh, this is a... I'm doing the Leonardo DiCaprio. I'm doing the Leonardo DiCaprio Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. This is...
Anna wouldn't call the relationship abusive in her interview. She says that it was toxic.
Yeah, he should have found the feet DMs, but either way, this isn't too bad.
Destiny was right in the sense that she couldn't just move on.
Sign the form. Sign the form.
Self-reflect and take blame. Destiny doesn't do that with Anna. It seems like Destiny has a lot of scorned lovers that he then labels as crazy, but when talking to people outside of Anna, it just comes off as a bit silly to me. I talked to Lav, who straight up admits to spreading around revenge porn of Destiny on Discord.
I think it's funny that like the most disgusting guy online who like has tried to make my life a living hell for 2 years has like a disgustingness and it's leaked everywhere, right? So I was even like, you know, don't get caught leaking it. Like, but obviously it's advantageous if it gets leaked. Like, obviously I want bad things to happen to this guy. And then I made a screenshot of the screenshot, or sorry, I made the screenshot that Nico Sam sent me, like a grab of just the top of his foreskin, so that you couldn't tell if it was like, you couldn't tell what the picture was. My profile picture in a private Discord server. Now, there's like debate about like how private a Discord server is, right? It had maybe 20 active users, and none of them were like DGGers. It wasn't like a DGGer offshoot server. It was like, and I never said that it was,
you know, huge Lav fan, me personally, huge Lav fan, when she's being funny. Don't really believe her retelling necessarily, and this is like, yeah, I mean, this is pretty bad behavior. Like, you shouldn't be spreading people's fucking non-consensual porn around Discord, regardless of whether it's in your fucking Discord profile picture or what. Like, obviously.
it's like, I mean, my friends knew that it was Destiny because I told them that it was, but
Dude.
It wasn't like widely known that I was like leaking this, right? Nico Sam had told me that Baby Peach had sent it to several people and that the sex tape was already leaked. So I just didn't, I was under no, like, I was under
college
no
prank.
I did not think that, like, this was something that, like, he didn't want going around.
No, he probably loves that you shared that. Just call it implied consent. She wrote to me how Destiny would make her send her feet pics to get airtime on his stream, and how he made her out to be crazy and called her
How much do you get to grandstand when you and Jace don't maybe listen to a Bobike's penis dramatic reading and recreation stream? Kelly, Bobike's posted his penis for the world to see, okay? By his own choice.
I've heard from multiple sources this lab story. The only one on the record was Destiny, though. But he tells pretty much the same story, and it's hard for me to tell if this is a story of abuse or just two scorned ex-lovers. Kelly Jean is somebody that I've talked to, and she was very upset because you, in statements I asked about in my first video, you kind of like brought her in with Lab as somebody who was part of a Discord that shared your nudes. And now Kelly claims she wasn't ever part of this Discord, but Lav has very much admitted that she did engage with revenge porn of you. It is undeniable because
what was Love? What?
Bragged about it many times on camera. Even when I messaged Lav on my own, she was very upfront about it. Kelly says she wasn't.
Kelly might have said she wasn't, but she knew about it for sure. She knew about all of it, and she remained friends with Lev and continued to chat with her throughout all of it.
Okay, that's a completely different claim.
But, you know, just saying.
So I asked Kelly about this.
Wasn't in the
That's such a completely different claim. That's not what he accused her of.
Discord, so I don't.
Yeah, you're.
Yes, he is. She is still knows Lav. Yeah, she didn't block and completely cut off from Lav for doing that. Correct. Yes. That's not what you accused Kelly of doing. You said Kelly was part of the revenge porn server. That's what was happening.
You're saying you weren't a part of any of that.
No, not even slightly. And the first time Destiny has alleged this was about 2 weeks ago, around the same time that he messaged you by the looks of it.
He followed up with him clarifying what he said about you. And he sort of changed his statement to be more of a guilt by association thing, claiming that you hung out with Lav a lot, who absolutely maliciously did do this.
Yes, that's not true. The only place that I ever interacted with her is in Gisticle's Discord.
So you're not really friends with Lav, he's grouping you in unfairly.
No, I'm not. What I did say...
Yeah, saying it's friends is also completely fucking retarded. Like, it's like barely even internet friends as far as it's like literally... They both go on JStook's stream, or I don't even know if Lav goes on there anymore, but used to go on JStook's stream and would talk on there sometimes, and would both talk in JStook's Discord server. That's my understanding of it. It's not like I don't think Kelly and Lav are having personal conversations about like what's going on in their life. I don't think that's happening. I don't think there's like, you know, a friendship by any reasonable standard of what friends are.
A few times, and even recently probably, as I think Lav is great content, right? So I'll say like I miss Lav, or I want Lav to be around because she's funny and she's not boring. But that has no indication on our closeness or friendship, right? Even if I was, like, what difference does that make? A lot of people are friends with Lav on Discord, including, like, a bunch of other orbiters. And, like, who cares? It's like...
Well, I think the point he's trying to make is just some hypocrisy note, because there is a video that I see that is uploaded.
It's like a meaningless hypocrisy point, though. It's like, you criticize me for this, but you're friends with someone who did something that's not as bad. Like, even if... Like, the only way you could... call it hypocrisy. Like, I mean, I don't know what Kelly's statements are on this, so I won't even speak for Kelly on this, but I know, like, for me personally, I would have no issue talking to Lav, but I would also have, like, no moral issue talking to Destiny, right? I probably wouldn't, because he's explicitly trying to get me killed, but I wouldn't have any moral issue with talking to Destiny. I don't have, like, any moral issue with anyone talking to Destiny. The things I say are, people should describe what he did accurately. That's the one thing. And the other thing I say is, people should maintain their own standards, their previously stated standards of association. So people like Erudite, who have made statements about what their conditions for associations are, or people like Connor, who made statements about conditions for association, I will hold them to their standards. But I'm not I'm not saying you can't be friends with Destiny. I say that about Dan. Like I said, I don't mind Dan. I don't mind Dan at all. Dan will admit the wrong things about his friends and himself, and so I'm like, okay, I can handle that. I know who you are. I can see who you are. I know how to engage with you. It's people that lie about who they are, people who claim standards at one point and then don't follow through on it. That's what annoys me. I think annoys anyone.
By a channel called Ryle Kitten House, where it's Lav bragging about sharing Destiny's penis around. Kelly never truly responded to me pointing out the hypocrisy of it. She just says Lav was banned and unbanned and it became content.
I know that she got banned from Gisticle's Discord. And then there was like a rule in place. She came back, but it was under like the preface of you're not allowed to talk about this banned topic. And then, yeah, I think this is also on Ryle's YouTube. I don't know if you've seen it, but she was in like a bunch of calls like towards like the early part of last year where it did get brought up, and then they had this debate back and forth about whether his dick is ugly or not.
I have not watched that. This is such weirdo territory. Like, what's my take supposed to be? Lav's a hypocrite? Is Kelly supposed to be more mad at Lav? Am I supposed to say, Destiny, how dare you call Lav mid-Jew pussy? Did you call Lav mid-Jew pussy?
Yeah, I did. Fuck yeah, I did. Fuck that. I hope she kills herself.
Is there a thing where Lav wouldn't sleep with you, so you decided to start like a crusade against her where you talk shit about her and are negative towards her?
No.
Is that a yes?
Wait, what was that?
A thing where Lav wouldn't sleep with you, so you decided to start like a crusade against her where you talk shit about her and are negative towards her.
No.
Well, he said no, right? Did not just say no there? Or was that... It was like he was going to say so, but he said no. It sounds like snow.
Snow.
So what?
Okay.
Oh, she killed herself.
What's Willy's claim here?
Is there a thing where Lav wouldn't sleep with you, so you decided to start like a crusade against her where you talk shit about her and are negative towards her?
No.
Is that a yes?
I said no.
Okay, but then he tells their story of them hooking up and they're falling out, which I end up hearing from like 3 other people. I just don't think any of this is that important.
And we just like chatted a bit on Instagram. And then eventually we chatted a bit on text. I don't think it was ever really sexual. We got like somebody to chat with. I think at some point
this is awesome.
Make plans to like hang out in real life, with the implication being we're so we get tired.
You have to hear Destiny do his autistic debate fucking sped act over recalling details of his hookups, going into an absolute fit, being like, well, no, Lav didn't just jerk me off in a kind of sad way, in a sad, pathetic way. Actually, Lav was begging for my dick the whole time.
Where she wants to go to a hotel and hang out. California. I'm like, okay, fine. And then I'm kind of tired though. I don't know. She's like, oh, let's go to a gas station. We get a Red Bull. It's cool.
Destiny literally told Zoe to post nudes every time Lav posts until she kills herself. It was a hot topic in DGG a year ago. Yeah, the idea that he pits women against each other is just like proven, basically. It's just very obvious.
Well, it's whatever. It's like, okay, whatever. Go to a gas station. I grab Red Bull. Shoot, whatever. Eventually, we get to a hotel room.
Suffer, Willy, suffer.
Just because, as you know, like, obviously, none of that affects this. Like, I don't care about any of that or whatever, just in case. Like, I wanted to clear the air there. And then she messages me back jokingly, and she's like, oh, I thought I had to fuck you to come on. Ha, 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 ha. And I was like, okay. Whatever. So like we had that conversation.
Is this this might be the only good bit I've seen in a WillyMac video ever. This might be the only time I've ever laughed at a WillyMac video, like genuinely like a joke he's making, you know?
Viewed Anna, and she claims that he was sexting her and sending her mixed messages recently after she crashes out on stream.
Yeah, our fighting has honestly been like so on and off. It's been so.
How? I thought back. What?
Just to go.
Any of that or whatever, just in case. California. I'm like, okay.
I must have pressed a numpad button while I was pressing an arrow.
Fine. And then I'm kind of tired though. I don't know. She's like, oh, let's go to a gas station. We get a Red Bull. It's cool. It's whatever. It's like, okay, whatever. Go to a gas station. I grab Red Bull. Shoot, whatever. Eventually, we get to a hotel room. I'm like, just because, as you know, like, obviously, none of that affects this. Like, I don't care about any of that or whatever, just in case. Like, I wanted to clear the air there. And then she messages me back jokingly, and she's like, oh, I thought I had to fuck you to come on. Ha 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 ha.
The legendary Destiny Lav hookup gas station Red Bull. The legendary gas station Red Bull.
Like, okay, whatever. So, like, we had that conversation. But she says later on with Mr. Girl, she's like, the only reason Steven sent me that message was so that it seemed like it was okay while he was secretly manipulating me. That's just been there
Welcome to the
for like
Orbit
3 years. And that's like the abridged version of our time together.
When I told Destiny, if you have one crazy ex, that means you have a crazy ex, but if all your exes are crazy, that means you're the problem, he responded with, yeah, I know it seems like all of my exes, but I bang so many women, in reality it's actually a tiny percentage. What it feels like you are implying at times is like, look, I've hooked up with a ton of girls.
Yeah, it's just like all the women he's had like significant long-time relationships with.
And most of them there is no problem is all. Is that?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, is there like a... Dude, this is so... that I'm even asking this. Is there... What is the percentage of girls? I guess
it's like not even relevant, dude. It's such a
right
dumb line of questioning.
That are fucking butthurt as opposed to go on, fine. They're like, yeah, I hooked up with Destiny, no big deal. I'm laughing because it's a ridiculous question, but it's genuinely his defense. Because obviously those girls are never going to complain. We aren't ever going to know Destiny hooked up with them.
Yeah, okay. Well, maybe Willy's cooking. Let's give him a moment, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I would say like 1 to 2%. I don't know. Like that's...
but right.
Every single person that has problems with me.
So you're hooking up with that many girls, though, is what you're saying. You're all the time.
Listen, okay? The past year and a half, I've slowed down considerably, okay?
Because of the vibe ants?
Yeah, Yeah, kind of. People like presented this as like some weird
oh
thing that like, oh, I took vitamins to kill my sex drive. It wasn't that. It's just that I took it. I'm like way more focused on work.
I guess that makes sense if the numbers are truly that high. Forget if anyone's crazy. I'm passing the ball to other content creators on that. I just want to focus on the allegations. The allegations from Cherry about Destiny secretly recording her had some doubts behind them because nobody had seen the recording.
You know, someone tried to audit Destiny's relationships. Someone tried to go through and do a bit of auditing and analysis of Destiny's relationships, and he was killed for it. He was killed for it.
Had consent to record. She said she didn't. We need the courts to figure that part out. So I asked Cherry if I could get a copy of the police report she filed because that would at least prove that something exists. She said no because she didn't want to risk getting doxxed. But now we don't need that because the recording was recently posted to Kiwi Farm. Kelly Jean sent it to me and it opens up with Destiny starting the recording, putting the phone somewhere.
I think it gives me a bad feeling, but I don't know if there's any criticism I know is sound to level when it's already public. I don't, but it makes me feel weird because I don't know if that's because I know Cherry, so I'm not gonna.
Not sound like she would be aware of this, but I guess we don't know for sure. Now during our interview, he kept the Cherry stuff off the record, but this recording came out afterwards, and when I asked him about it, he gave me a response, but never a straight answer on whether or not he had consent to record it, saying no, WTF, we were in my apartment the entire time. She was literally staying over. I asked, is there a reason?
This is about the grinder audio, dude. What is he talking about? The recording starts outside of her apartment or house, whatever. That's not what's claimed about the Cherry stuff.
Saying no, WTF, we were in my apartment the entire time. She was literally staying over. I asked, is there a reason why you would be recording in your pocket with Cherry? He responds, I never was, LOL. The phone was sitting on the bed or on the nightstand. That doesn't answer anything. Do you have consent or not? We're just gonna...
Okay, yeah. All right, okay. Willy did fuck up the questions. He is a retard. However, he's still getting good reasoning. He's pulling it back here.
Have to wait and see if the police report turns into anything because he won't say, which, you know, fair enough. I did find it interesting though that when I asked Anna if she ever received nudes of other girls, she said yes. Have you ever been sent videos of him and other people where they didn't consent to the videos?
So I've been sent videos. I have no way of knowing if they were consensually, like, recorded or sent.
Can you say who was in them?
Sorry?
Can you say who was in them?
I didn't know the people.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense.
I saw faces, but, like, I didn't know who they were.
Yeah, I have no idea who it is.
Yeah, and so, like, when this stuff came out, I was kind of like, oh, shit. Uh-oh. That means that, what if they, like, didn't consent to that being sent? Yeah. So that was a little disturbing, of course, to realize. Yeah, and I mean, I came out, like, kind of supporting Pixie and like, and Cherry, of course.
Were any of those girls... Well, I guess you wouldn't know if it's Pixie or not, right? I don't know if the... I have no idea.
I don't think so. I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think I got anything about, like, from any of Pixie's stuff, basically, or Cherry's stuff, because, like I said, I didn't know who they were.
And that just makes me wonder, was this actual consent or more of that implied consent? When Destiny was going through the Anna drama, he'd tell people to go talk about it on her Kiwi Farms. Her Kiwi Farms thread also hosted her docs. And Ryan Beard made the point that sending people to her Kiwi Farms is effectively just spreading her docs.
And he encouraged them to post in her thread.
Oh, okay. Also, heads up. This is my only non-media blackout time, okay? This is my only non-media blackout time. I will immediately back this, okay? Somebody on Kiwi Farms has made a thread of Anna. So if you are obsessed with Anna and you want to talk about her all the time, you, chatter, you can actually go to Kiwi Farms and you can go and post all you want, read all you want, go there, post about it, talk about it. People put a lot of effort into categorizing and archiving everything. There you go, okay?
And in the thread about Anna that Destiny encouraged his fans to go message, they doxed Anna. In response to this, Anna texted Destiny, "You literally ruined my fucking life. You just doxed me on your stream. You put me in danger." And Destiny responded to this by saying, "You're doing it to yourself and you're going to keep doing it to yourself."
Yeah, I will say, so far, this is way better than the first video. So far, I'll give WillyMac credit on that. Definitely better than the first video.
And recently, Destiny has also called for the dox of some of his biggest detractors. He asked, is Kuihman's full dox public yet? At another time, he was calling for J-stalks.
It's how many people around this person can we harass or can
mention?
We dox or SWAT or whatever. And like, that's just the goal for all of it. It's pretty cringe. It's pretty gross. I expect the behavior from Kiwi Farms. It is
so this is the exact sickening, disgusting, bullshit reasoning that Keffel's used. The exact same reasoning Ethan Klein is using to rope people in. We actually, on J-Stalks the other night, we actually showed a segment from Destiny's Keffel's manifesto.
Couldn't obsessively.
Wow. So where is the moment where we watch the Keffel's manifesto?
Fine, but the drag. My stance has never changed. People just like to pretend that it has changed when it has never changed.
Oh, whoops.
One swatting that didn't even happen. The person emailed me and told me that they up the internet for doxing. Fine, but the dragon. They want to get Kiwi Farm. It's the most visible site on the internet.
I need the actual clip again of him. Hold on, I'm gonna line this up. I'm gonna line this up.
I mean, they were notorious for harassment before. A lot of other things. None of those websites are ever brought up because there's no glory in chasing. It ends up taking the fall or getting the blame.
Yeah, okay, this bit sucks. Jason was fucking around too much here. Holy shit.
Destroyers or attacking.
Sometimes while I'm on Jason's stream, he'll fuck around with a clip. I'm literally sitting there raging. I don't say anything because I don't want to put him off or annoy him while he's streaming. I don't say anything, but I'm sitting there and it's like, it's almost like Blue Balls or something, man, where you're like sitting there and you're like in pain because J-Stalk isn't fucking getting there. You know, Jason, I'm trying to make it sound as gay as possible. J-Stalk just isn't getting there. He just can't sort it out, you know.
21st, she claimed that I have actively facilitated all of the bad things that have happened to her over the past several months and blamed me for her doxing. There is no proof or evidence of any of this. I cannot.
Yeah, Edge Stalker, for real.
Apparently, Kevels was me for his
No,
doxing.
keep us rolling. Keep us rolling. I don't want to hear this next line.
So, here, you hear me? I'm saying, keep this rolling, keep this rolling. I'm like, bro, play the clip. Play the clip, bro.
What is this? What is this?
On August 21st, she claimed that I have actively facilitated all of the bad things that have happened to her over the past several months and blamed me for her doxing. There is no proof or evidence of any of this. I cannot.
Apparently, Kevels was me for his
No,
doxing.
keep us rolling. Keep us rolling. I don't want.
So, Keffel's blamed Destiny for his doxing.
Possibly be blamed for Kiwi Farms.
Jesus Christ, fuck me. Keffel's blamed Destiny for her doxing. Jesus Christ, and that was accidental. That was totally accidental. Her doxing, her doxing, her doxing, her doxing.
Getting a threat on her of any of this. I cannot.
Apparently, Kevels was me for his
No,
doxing.
keep us rolling. Keep us rolling. I don't want to hear this
Possibly
next
be
line.
blamed for Kiwi Farms creating a threat on her when I had no involvement in it. Again, the only.
Wow.
Oh my god.
Interesting. Wow. Wow. Why don't we maintain this logic now with anything?
My god. You'd think it's like I don't know, dude.
Me personally, as a liberal, I think I'm responsible for my actions. You know, am I responsible for some influence of, you know, what I send out? Sure, yeah. But fundamentally, my actions, and I should be held accountable to what I've done. Now, apparently, there's a bunch of other people running around that think you should be held accountable for what people you don't even talk to, people you have no interaction with.
That you share a Discord server with, apparently.
Even the ones people you don't, people that are in when you share a Discord server with someone who posts on the same website as someone else, you're responsible for that third person's actions. So, me personally, I think we should be held accountable for our own crimes. If Destiny's this illiberal, then I mean that's his prerogative, I guess. If he's not a liberal, then.
Remember when the worst thing you could be was illiberal? Remember?
Yeah, I remember.
They had to cut Vosh out. They had to cut Hassan out. Hassan is like the worst person ever because he's illiberal. FD Signifier is the worst person ever because he's illiberal.
On August 20th.
What about you, Kuihman? Have you posted his Kiwi Farm?
Linked.
Like documentary. I think I broadly, even if somebody from somewhere else,
Didn't write any of this, so these aren't really his positions.
and people say that, I
totally respond.
Do we get any more? No, Jason just his head moves around. We don't get more words. Okay. Awesome stuff.
It is, like I said, communities like that will always exist, but it's really gross when people like Gisticle, whose information I hope I can find soon, are like trying to amplify or put a magnifying glass on info over there and then have it spread into the other world. That's just wild to me.
So I asked Destiny about it, and this is what he said. People accusing you of doxing. right? Because you're referring to Kiwi Farms. Ryan did this with Anna. And then J-Stock is doing this. Kuihman is sort of doing this where there's DMs about you saying like, hey, I wish this person, has this person been doxxed yet?
Here we go.
Yeah, I for Anna, that's bullshit. For just like Kuihman, I'd kill him if I could. I'd choke the fucking house and do it. But not for Anna, no.
We'll get back to the death threat in a minute. I just want to address Anna's point of view. And it's you saying like, you doxed me on your stream because your dox was on
He's gonna do it, guys. He's gonna do it for real this time.
Yes. Yeah.
You ruined my life, right? So do you think what he did there was him maliciously doxing you?
I think it was malicious because, again, we were having a fight. It was over. I don't remember what the hell it was over.
Yeah, what in a dozen.
Wait, does WillyMac include the stuff about this fight? So there's DMs where after he posts the Kiwi Farms thread, she's like, why did you do that? Why did you do that? And he's like, you keep doing this to yourself and you're gonna keep doing this to yourself. I had to do it. He literally, he turns the blame around on her in the DMs. He says, you're doing this to yourself.
Between you two.
Yeah.
Oh, did you already mention that? Okay, fair enough. Willy then.
Well, first, like, yeah, I do think...
Yeah, because so it's not just... So the argument that it's just to get the discussion off his platform is complete fucking bullshit. It's total bullshit. It was not. It was very malicious.
It was malicious because he was pretty angry with me at that time. And yeah, he basically said, like, go to her Kiwi Farms page, specifically page 4 or whatever, which was where my docs was. And yeah, so I was very upset about that. I think he did.
Okay.
Actually, I'm not sure. Either way, I felt like
it might have been the link he posted was the link to page 4.
Hell? Yeah. Because he told people to like go there and talk about me and stuff like that, make accounts, things like that, and yeah, I felt like
he obviously, when I asked him about this, framed it in a not a malicious way, but whether he's naming the page number or not, which is obviously he's framing it as not malicious. But if your docs is on there and everything, well,
yeah, I mean,
you know, it comes off that way. It feels that way, and I would interpret it that way myself.
Yeah, especially since we were literally.
So I don't think posting someone's Kiwi Farms thread is inherently wrong, like I said. But yeah, you can look at the context and see exactly what Destiny was aiming to do with this. It's very clear. You look at their relationship; it's a totally fucked up thing to do. In like the context of the dynamic they had. Obviously, there are ways where, like, you know, if someone fucking I don't know. Like, let's say, okay, so when Mutahar put up his Careful's video, he used art from Kiwi Farms there. If someone linked to the page where that art was on Kiwi Farms to say, look, Mutahar's art from his thumbnail came from Kiwi Farms, here it is, look, you can check for yourself. That's not, like, that doesn't seem to be malicious. You're doing that to verify a specific claim that isn't related to any person identifying information or something that's like defamatory or some shit like that. That's fine. But if you're in a fight with a girl that you're seeing, and then you post a KF thread with a docs, and you say, go check this out, guy. I mean, okay, well, not really a different situation.
Sexting at that time.
According to alleged text messages only 2 days before. And it's not just me who interprets it that way. Destiny interprets it that way. J-Stock and Kuihman sending people to his Kiwi Farms is why he wants them dead.
I'd kill him if I could. I'd choke the fucking house and do it.
I sure that.
Like sending people, like, I don't have a huge issue. Like, I'm not gonna get up in arms about him saying I'm sending people to Kiwi Farms. I sent Willy to his Kiwi Farms thread, technically. I said, Willy, why the fuck haven't you read this if you're making these videos? So, listen, I won't even, like, I'm not too cut up. It's a kind of not, I don't think it's quite accurate presentation, but it's fine. It's fine. I'm not cut up about it. I saw him rattle comment earlier and say Willy was a liar for saying that. I wouldn't say he's a liar for saying that. I don't think that's the case.
Clip of the interview at the end of
I've never told my audience, go to KF, go to KF. I've never been like that. I've never been doing that sort of thing. I've told Willy go to KF. I've told, like, you know, I've said something is there, but I don't tell people to go use KF. I don't tell people to go look at people's doxes. I don't do anything like that.
And this is how Destiny justified it when he was asked about it on stream.
I don't even think it's a dishonest presentation. I think he's just taking Destiny's... it is a little bit dishonest because it's Destiny's presentation. But he's basically taking Destiny's presentation and he's saying, it's like, it's close enough. And he's saying, like, oh, well, if that's true, then you should die too, basically. That's the point. It's like, not that. There's nothing wrong with it, I don't think.
We're, like, obsessively posting and directing people towards doxes of me, my family members, and all this other shit, I have no care in the world for you. I will never have any care in the world for you. And I will gladly and fully admit that. I don't know what you want me to say.
That's the exact same reason Anna was upset with you, but you called her a liar. I'll play his justification anyway. She says like, hey, this ruined my life or whatever. Steven, you ruined my life.
She's lying when she said that. That's bullshit. But what happened was...
Okay. I don't know what your name is, really. Like, a Hammy or some shit? I don't know. I will say, I think Destiny's subtly mocking him here. He's saying, if you're an insane creep, go over there. But, of course, chat is autistic. I won't pick up on that. It's not just that his chat is autistic. If I said, hey, all the hateful creeps in my audience, go to X person's docs. If you're a really hateful creep, like, it's obvious what I'm saying there. I'm not just mocking the audience being hateful creeps. I'm saying, hey, the most interested and aggressive parts of my audience, take a look here. That's what I'm saying.
Was, again, the pattern with Anna was, if anybody would bring up anything about her that she felt was wrong, she had to go live and correct the record. And the frustrating thing for me, and I'm sure you've seen this happening right now, is what people will do is people will pretend that they're not getting info off of Kiwi Farms, but what they do is they get info right off Kiwi Farms and then they chat about it in Discord or they talk about it on my chat. So I was getting frustrated and I told my chat, I was like, listen, if you guys want to talk about it, go at Kiwi Farms, whatever, get the out of my chat, don't talk about it there.
That
now,
was
people,
not an effort to dox her, is what you're saying.
Yeah, no, what the fuck? Like, why would I even want to do that? Like, what am I, want somebody to kill her or what? Like, that's hard. I do want somebody to kill Gisticle, though, or Lav, or Mr. Girl, or Kuihman. Those people can all die. Wow. But not Anna, no.
Since you do want these fucking people to die and they fucking suck.
I'm just so proud to be getting put on. I almost said getting put on lists with Mr. Girl. That's probably not a good phrasing, is it, actually?
For according to you. I mean, I think they're fucking annoying, too. When you're saying these things, it is with malicious intent. You just genuinely don't care. Like, fuck them.
Yeah, not for Anna. That wasn't the case for Anna. Yeah, people were already going to her thread and they were bringing stuff from her thread into my chat. And I was like, listen, if you want to talk about it, like, it's not like her thread was unknown and then I all of a sudden publicized it. It was that people were going to that thread and then talking about it on my chat. I was like, listen, go to Kiwi Farms, talk about it. Don't talk about it on my chat.
I do remember the list drama with Vivian Wolf. I do, where they were like, what was it, that like Antifa group was collecting doxes of people on Twitch poll or some shit like that? Yeah, I remember.
In my chat, she's going to see it, and then she's going to want to correct the record on it, and I don't want to be part of this bullshit. It's fucking driving me crazy, yeah.
But with J-Stock and Kuihman,
the reason why I hate these people is because they're taking part in this thing. Bro, I swear to God, if I quit streaming, I'm going to fucking go on an assassination mission, okay? These people are going to start disappearing one at a time, okay? The thing it's disgusting to me is that because they don't get a rise out of me and they don't get a reaction out of me, they start targeting every single person.
What do you mean? Get a rise out of you? Buddy, you're like throwing out violent threats every other day.
Around me. Blavs, if you go onto my Kiwi Farms thread and you look at, there's like 15 different sock puppet accounts that are all this guy. He is saying it.
Uh-oh. Like, why does he keep doing it? Why does he keep talking to this guy? Why does he keep talking about this guy?
And they don't get a reaction out of me. They start targeting every single person around me. Blavs, if you go onto my Kiwi Farms thread and you look at, there's like 15 different sock puppet accounts that are all this guy. He is saying it explicitly. He will say, I am doxing this girl because she's still with Destiny. I'm doxing this person because he's my citizen. They did it with Tom. Did you ever see? I sent a screenshot where they did it with Tom where they're like, oh, why is Tom saying this? Does anybody have
Tom?
Oh,
no, Tom is in,
Tomfoolery?
Tomfoolery. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't.
Wait, here.
I don't. I'm not.
Okay,
I don't know.
Tomfoolery tweeted one critical question one time about like that rape narrative about me or the crazy narrative. This Stranger Me guy, that's Stranger Me is a Blav. Like, look at that response because he tweeted one thing where he was asking a question, right? And then look at what his response is.
Wow, this guy did this. That means Kuihman bad, I guess. Okay. What's even the argument here? Seriously, this is, like I say, this is the Keffels thing, this is the Ethan Klein thing, and it's the Destiny thing. It's what these fucking losers do when they don't have a better response. They just start trying to loop in guilt by association all the people that are critical of them with the absolute worst people coming after them, with the absolute most, like, you know, insane, no bad tactics people that you can find, like whether it's Kiwi Farms, in this case specific Kiwi Farms user, whether it's some random person we don't even know who did the CPS call with Ethan Klein, we got no idea, or whether it's blaming the swatting on Kiwi Farms back in the day, which obviously ended up being Tor Swats, who was a completely different guy who's now in prison. Like, The idea that anyone else is responsible for what goes on with like this sort of person who is just like hell-bent on fucking you up. Like, what kind of... Well, I'm supposed to not criticize you because there are really bad people out there? That's insane. It's just trying to stop people criticizing you. That's all it is.
That guy, that stranger me guy, that's Vlad. He's doxed like 20 people in my life. Yes. He doxed Zoe and Jacob. They know it. I got DMs from Zoe where her and Jacob quit the whole internet because they were so terrified of him. He's doxed my girlfriend. Probably like in the past like 20 pages, he'll like redox her like every few weeks when he's bored.
Bro,
he's
this guy's saying Willy is a competition for biggest footsie retard. Come on, dog.
Dude. Why do this? Why are they doing this?
Yes, but he's saying that because you won't come out and post a video like unequivocally calling me like a mass. This is what they do. So whatever like you're working on right now is a waste of time, because if you post this, you're gonna have Hassan's community, you're gonna have these people on. That's fine, but you say that now, but it'll turn into them going after you, and then they'll try to dox you or your girlfriend, or they'll go after your family, or they'll go after friends of yours, or they'll go after other people in the commentary community until they make videos about you. Like this is like the pattern. It is so fucking irritating.
I've been totally fair. I don't know what the fucking KF response is like. Who knows? I feel like I'm being totally fair about this response. I'm not going after Willy for not unequivocally disavowing Destiny. I'm just pointing out factual issues or points where I think his analysis is off. I think that's all I'm doing. Me personally.
That's why people like Gisticle and Kuihman, if I could,
I mean,
would
very
put
normal.
balls in a vice and crush them, and then slice them off, and then feed them to them, and then slice them and kill them. Okay, them because
what is this guy? Strange psychosexual fascination this guy has with just like balls and cum. It's very, very odd, very strange behavior here. Very, very distorted mind. Very distorted, abused mind. Maybe a mind that was perverted, and it's
find all this shit, and they're knowingly playing a part of it. They know what's going on, but like Kelly Jean, dude, I can send you like 50. Like there are so many albums of them just constantly talking shit about me, talking about my dick, talking about my girlfriend, talking about my kid, like constantly. It never ends. It's never ending. Constantly talking about me, constantly talking about my girlfriend, and half the shit talking about is just stuff that's they're like getting off of like Kiwi farms and just discussing it like in their servers.
Poor Hannah gets no grace for going through the exact problem that Destiny's complaining about. As far as the messages Destiny sent me,
true. Yeah. Wait. Okay, W Willy. Good point. Good point.
People are talking about him a lot. I'm sure it's annoying, but so what? This is how the internet works. I hate doxing on the internet. It is the worst part of Kiwi Farms, because doxing is when online hate becomes offline hate. It starts a
look. Willy, unequivocal condemnation of doxing. We love to see it. We love to see it. We hate doxing. We love to see it.
Affecting people's real life, allowing unhinged individuals to then swat them. People have died from this, but he is being completely unsympathetic towards Anna, who had the same complaints about him, and now he wants to be the doxer. Breaking, it's Saturday, I'm in the middle of editing, but I've just been made aware of Destiny addressing this exact argument I make, and I think it's important to let you hear.
Destiny's mad because people are linking to his Kiwi Farms. Destiny's mad about that, but he linked to Anna's Kiwi Farms, right? Well, if you look at the two differences in context here, it's not even remotely the same. There was a Kiwi Farms thread that was posted, and everybody kept basically doing what Gisticle servers doing, where they would link it in my chat, like, oh my god, did you see this, did you see that? And I think I said something on stream to the effect of, listen, if you want to talk about her, go to our KF thread and talk about her. Don't do it here. I don't want to see this here. This isn't going to be talked about here. Get out. Okay? That was my statement on it. They're trying to pretend like that statement is the same as the 50 extra Discords and the room that...
A vice? You're telling on yourself, buddy. There isn't a vice small enough for Kuihman. You have to make one yourself. Genius. Good luck.
This guy's an op. This guy's an op. This guy's ex-DGG, by the way. This guy's ex-DGG. He's literally, this guy's a fake fan.
You know, Gisticle has, where they explicitly talk about all
this guy was a DGG moderator for years,
over and over again, and they're linking to it and they're referencing it and talking about it constantly. It's clearly not the same thing. Like if Gisticle or any of those side servers made the same statement about me that I made about Anna, I would be totally fine with that. If they were like, listen, guys, we're not going to talk about their personal shit anymore. If you want to talk about it, or like their docs or whatever, if you want to talk about it, then go to KF and talk about it. I'd be totally fine with that.
But here's the difference. Anna's story isn't breaking from Kiwi Farms. It's breaking from Anna's and Destiny's stream. Meanwhile, the sources from the Destiny drama come from Kiwi Farms. They kind of have to reference it to some degree. I mean, would any reasonable person say that I doxed Keffels because I referenced her Kiwi Farms?
Thank you. Great argument, WillyMac. Amazing argument. We love to see it, WillyMac. You're making a great point here.
Absolutely not. I'm not set on this opinion. It's probably a case-by-case basis, and I don't know everything J-Stalk.
Yeah, obviously, yes. Okay, so good. Me and WillyMac agree on this point, same analysis, a contextual thing where it depends what you're doing and how you're using it.
Or Kuihman have said. So I could probably be persuaded depending on the circumstances. Let me know what you guys think. Destiny sent me a message.
Well, I've literally never done anything that would, I think, fall foul of a standard there. I've never directed my audience to Kiwi Farms. I've purely said, like, this thing is on Kiwi Farms. You know, that's sort of engagement I have with it. So
he wanted to use these doxes to sue J-Stalk and Kuihman. I guess that's better than posting them publicly.
You said J-Stalk has greenlit everything coming from Kiwi Farms, which includes doxes of everyone.
Yes, he's engagement farming. Let me know what you think in the comments, guys.
To harass you. You said you have a girlfriend, right? I mean, I know that you probably want to keep that private.
Guys, I was trying not AFK during this whole thing, but I need to piss. So I'll back in a sec. What the hell? What the? Why are they so hard? What the? Okay.
Maybe. I don't know. People know you.
Well, it's not because it's everybody points to Kiwi Farms where they're doxing her constantly. So. And Kelly Jean is also like bringing up things on Kiwi Farms about her, and she's posting about those things. It might even be one of the albums I sent you in like Gisticle's Discord, and everybody knows it's coming from Kiwi Farms.
Is that just a hemorrhoids thing?
This message specifically to me, you said, if I'm after any information regarding J-Stalk, that's for my own purposes. Are you going to sue J-Stalk? Are you looking into that option?
I'd like to keep that option open. It'd be nice to have that option.
Okay. It's either that or he's actually going to murder them. One or the other.
Oh, I did troll the shit out of the DDoS kid. That's a guy, that's one of the people, like, legitimately, like, I was so, you have no, like, it's actually kind of scary, like, how close I was to getting people together to go down to his house and kill him and his family. Or it would have just been him and his father. Because I didn't know anything about, dude, that was some of the most fucked up shit in my entire life.
So he won't even sue the leaker, but he's going to start, what, a defamation suit against J-Stalk for using it, probably for, what? What would be the strongest defamation claim against J-Stalk? Probably the term e-rapist. Right? Is that, what do you think? What do you think? The court battle over the term e-rapist? How do you think that's gonna play out? Any bets, guys?
So fucking close to doing it. But I was making so much money on Twitch, and I don't know if Nathan was involved in yet, but for whatever reason I decided that the current life I had wasn't worth the risk of... Oh my god. Oh my god, I was so close to this dress. I had fucking streets mapped out and you have no idea. That's when I first started getting interest in like owning a weapon. I got a permit to own a gun and everything.
A toast to the bad guy. With bad bitches, the bad times will pass by.
These are just some other things from my journey that I found interesting. Denims threw herself in is one of the victims who was secretly recorded.
Like he has so many victims and he has done this same shtick over and over and over again. Where he...
Yeah, this was kind of embarrassing from Denims, I'm not gonna lie, because while she was secretly recorded, I believe, it wasn't like they weren't like fucking or anything. Like it's kind of weird to throw yourself in like you're in the same position. It's kind of weird.
Reaches out, or other women reach out to him who are 18 or 19 or 20, and he does the same song and dance where he tries to use and abuse them, and then discard them when it's no longer relevant or useful for him. Unfortunately, I made the mistake of not having had sex with him. And after that point, he decided to just do a full smear campaign on me. And threatened to leak non-sexual, in this case, I feel like it's important to recognize that, illegal recordings of me. We had a conversation and he recorded it in California, which is a two-party consent state, which you cannot record people without their consent. Since that moment, I basically didn't talk about him at all because, like I said, he is a black hole. He's a cynical piece of shit black hole whose only goal is to sexually abuse women.
I saw this and was like, man, Destiny must have really victimized her in some way if she's talking like this. So I asked Destiny, and he says that Denim stayed in his apartment for 2 days banging a dude without his knowledge.
However, one weird thing happened where 2 days before TwitchCon ends, okay, Denims, all right, she said that she had to catch a ride back to LA early, and only one guy could give her a ride back, okay? Are you following me?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, to be polite, and because I'm mindful of, like, I don't want some girl getting, like, trapped and raped or whatever, I told Denims, I was like, okay, yeah, no problem, that's fine or whatever. However, like, if you need to, like, use my apartment because you need, like, a place to stay so you're not, like, trapped with some random dude or whatever, like, here's how to get into my apartment, just so you know. And she's like, okay, thanks. 2 days later, me, Melina, and I think Caterino or whatever, we end up, like, driving back to...
Okay, so he said she could use his apartment, and... Okay.
LA, pull
Thanks
into
for
my
raid
apartment.
morale.
in
Thank you,
Glendale,
thank you.
Go upstairs, open my apartment door, and then in my loft, up pops Denim's head and the guy. And I realized that Denims and the guy had just spent the last 2 days in my fucking apartment with my computer on, like, and all my shit. I'm like, what the this was incredibly weird to me. I don't know why she thought I would have been okay with that. It was so dramatic. I sat them both down. I was like, listen, okay?
Yeah, it sounds like he didn't actually communicate properly what he meant with his apartment, to be honest. Like, we don't know how this conversation went, but there's many ways this conversation... No, the computer being on does matter, and in some ways I'm upset about that. But the thing is, I can imagine so many ways this conversation goes where it's not immediately obvious that what you're saying is, I'm giving you access to my apartment so that you can get away from this guy if you need to. I think, like, he could have just said, oh, if you need to use my apartment, here's how you get in, right? Could have just said something as simple as that. So without knowing how the conversation went, it's really hard to tell, like, who was actually in the wrong here, because there's plenty of ways where Denims could interpret that, and I think it was totally fine. Implied consent to have sex in the apartment. Well, yeah, it's still shitty to, like, fuck in someone's bed. That is still shitty. But the point is that he gave her access to the apartment, and if there was, like, the issue isn't really the fucking in the bed. No, that's a shitty thing. The issue is that this guy that he doesn't know has access to, like, yeah, exactly, shit like his computer, where he can, like, actually theoretically fuck up this guy's life if he so wanted to, right? I think my understanding is that the guy that Denims fucked in his apartment was, like, some ex-DGGer called, like, Apollo or something too. Is that true? So if it was, like, some kind of fan, that's even worse. Atlas.
Okay. This is all too much, too dramatic, too weird. Like, I don't want anything to do with either of you guys. This is, like, crazy shit. This has gotten, like, way too wacky. They both acknowledged that they had both been, like, unhinged and crazy, and they understood and blah blah blah. And then after that, like, we, like, all kind of went our separate ways. Now, I did record that conversation because the big fear I had, and this happened 2 days later, Denims goes online with her new guy friend, and she's like, Steven kicked me out because I wouldn't fuck him.
And that's pretty much what she's claiming now. So when Destiny offered me the recording, I took it, I listened to it, and he's right. She's just lying about the whole thing.
Was not allowed to be in the apartment?
Fuck no.
Really?
Fuck no.
Why was I not told that he was not allowed to be in the apartment?
Because I wouldn't assume you would bring a stranger into my apartment.
Okay, yeah, so I was right about how this conversation went. Yeah, so I don't actually necessarily blame Denims for taking him there, but yeah, she is kind of like, she's misportraying it. She's trying to act like a fucking victim. When really, this was like a retarded miscommunication where, yeah, I believe this isn't a legal recording technically, yeah. Yeah. She's trying to spin a miscommunication as, like, this horrible victimization when it wasn't. Destiny was a retard and kind of a piece of shit for blowing up so hard when he didn't communicate properly. But also, she was taking fucking liberties. She fucked in his bed, you know.
Apartment without asking me. When I volunteered to drive you back, I don't know how you feel 100% because you don't talk about any of this stuff, which is fine. So, like, if you're, like, in an awkward situation, right? I'm trying to be a good guy and give you a way out, like, hey, well, my apartment is open if you want to go in. So that gives you the ability to either say, like, oh no, it's okay, I'll go with this, or okay, thanks for offering, I'll go to your apartment. That wasn't like bring into my apartment for him to have free reign in here for a day. Okay, holy shit. That is so fucking weird. And not only that, but you couldn't even lie about it correctly. You told 3 different lies in her.
Well, she said that Destiny turned on her because she didn't sleep with him. That's not really true. And she tried to, well, she did say it was non-sexual. She did try to put it in the same sort of breath as the other allegations.
People, you told Melina, I would never and I got into
that. I never said that.
You did. I looked at the text. You did.
OMFG, no.
Yes.
It was
so
not you,
okay, OMFG, no. So I come home and you're both still here. Why? Why would you put me in this weird spot where I have to come home and see an incredibly creepy fucking guy that is such a weird position in my community that's been trying to get me to stop talking to my ex-girlfriend because he's trying so hard to f her, is now f***ing somebody else in my bed, dragging his f***ing hairy balls across my f***ing blankets, okay? Oh my god. And so we leave for an hour. He's like, holy shit, that's weird. So we leave for an hour and come back and your ball's still there. Oh god. I don't know if he's like, I need to get like a few more logs or pictures off of Destiny's computer. Holy shit. I don't think I've ever had somebody fuck me that hard where I've tried to like offer somebody to somebody in my entire life. I don't think I've ever been like so f***ing burned on something before. Holy shit.
Destiny kicks her out of the house, and before she goes, she says, I thought it was okay because I thought this weirdo guy changed for the better, completely missing the point for why he didn't like her there.
At this point, I'm like, I thought I was a pretty good judge of character, so now I'm like, am I a really bad judge of character? Has he changed since the last time he's been in your community? Is everything that...
Okay, well, she's not actually saying that she thought he'd changed. She didn't know that he was bad before, I think. It's not... She's saying that based on what Destiny's telling her, right? This is based on what Destiny's telling her. She's saying, I'm wondering if I'm a bad judge of character or what. That's what she's saying.
Like, I've been told, like, fake or something, and it's, like, really, like, fucking with me because, generally speaking, I have a relatively good read on people, so, I don't know, this, like,
I don't know.
Denham's trying to throw herself in with these victims is so disgusting. She sees all these alleged victims and she goes, I want to be one of them. Let me hide behind California law so he can't prove me wrong. It had nothing to do with hooking up with Destiny. She lies with a smile. I also want to address one particular guy who is determined that I can't upload this video until I respond to him. Well, I worked hard on this video, so I better get to it. It's called WillyMac, PR.
Dude. Oh, why are you responding to this gay fucking video, dude? The Glitch Poachers video sucked so bad. Dude, it was so ass. Dude, Glitch Poachers is so dumb. Oh.
For a predator. He's mad at me for interviewing Destiny as if I'm somehow giving Destiny clout.
So WillyMac is choosing to platform a violent psychopathic criminal who wants other creators doxxed and murdered and is laughing about it on Twitter. These two are so unlikable, referring to the people Destiny doxxed and wants dead, even when they're being threatened with their dox. Notice how he doesn't mention that's me! Death threats. I can't help but notice how big off losers they are. Lol 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 lol.
He wants me to pearl clutch over Destiny's violent remarks, where in the tweet I'm quoting, Kuihman is making violent remarks towards another Twitter account who simply...
Right, it's not about violent remarks, retard. Dude, okay, first of all, I don't give a fuck about death threats, first of all. I don't care. Unless they're, like, credible, I don't give a fuck about death threats. That's the first thing. So, you know, no one's fucking pearl clutching. It ain't about fucking pearl clutching. What Destiny is doing, specifically, is doxing and inciting. Okay? Doxing and inciting. Me saying, in a expressive way, we have to stomp this guy into the dirt. That's not an actual violent statement, and you're retarded if you read it as one. If you think I'm gonna get someone to stomp yeet into the dirt. What does that even mean? No, it's a comment. It's a violent, we'll say violently, dressed comment about internet discourse. Destiny says, I'm going to post your address and I want somebody to kill you. So can someone come and kill this person? I've got their address. I think we can see how these two things are not analogous if we actually engage.
Posted my content.
Curiously,
so this
only
guy's
once
like a pathetic, cocksucking hack loser, right? He needs to be like absolutely kicked into the dirt.
I think he just hates Hassan.
But
This
guy needs to be stomped into the fucking dirt. Fuck Yeet. I got Pretty Tony in Yeet's Discord. My good friend Pretty Tony is running ops in Yeet's Discord. He's in his inner circle. My good friend Pretty Tony is bringing down Yeet.
If you want to say that.
These guys say violent things just like Destiny. They were huge fans of him up until recently. I don't feel like anyone's in any actual danger, but if they feel like they are, they should thank me for giving them the warning and call the cops. He says I'm down.
Okay, wait, but you didn't give us the warning. Wait, no, you just posted it publicly. Okay, that's like, you didn't warn me. You didn't send me a message saying, hey, by the way, Destiny just said he's gonna kill you in a call with me. You give me a warning. You just posted it on fucking Twitter, you retard. What the fuck are you talking about?
Destiny's crimes for predicting that his...
Sorry, he didn't post it on Twitter. He put it in his video. He put it at the end of his fucking I'm Alex video. Bro, I ain't watching your fucking I'm Alex video.
Career won't end over this.
You're totally right, but I've never seen someone's career end over some shit like this.
There's WillyMac downplaying Destiny's crimes, who gets interrupted by Nicholas Diorio, commentary's top janitor. Diorio downplays Willy's downplaying of Destiny's crimes, then makes sure that optically they're shitting on Destiny hard enough.
Destiny's videos are getting hundreds of thousands of views. He's streaming live to over 30,000 people. Why is me being factually correct about how this will affect his career downplaying what he did? I think the bigger problem is when people like this guy equate what Destiny did to Jeffrey Epstein.
Especially when we're talking about a guy with the nickname Epstein.
Or when J-Stock says Destiny has created a rape machine.
I think one of the
infinite rape machine. The infinite rape machine.
Massive talking point here is the infinite rape machine. Okay, how does the infinite rape machine work?
You guys make what Destiny actually did
the
wrong.
Infinite rape machine. Let's
Destiny
go.
Didn't rape anybody. He didn't traffic anyone. He broke people's trust who were in.
Is it not a reference to the Sunday stuff? It's the idea of like, he's not actually saying Destiny has a rape machine. It's about the hypothetical of if there's an infinite rape machine, at what point are you allowed to violate like the victim's consent to release the information in order to tear down the infinite rape machine? That's the point, you know. You have to, like, if there is continued abuse happening, when can you step in against the victim's wishes? That's what the point is.
Intimate with him.
Has science gone too far?
So he could sex the 19-year-old e-girl, leading to these people's images being...
Yeah, exactly. It's just like a humorous, hyperbolic way of making an argument about like ethics.
Ever cemented online. Their employers, their kids, their family members can be harassed forever now. That should be enough to hold him to the fire. But the minute you make it about rape,
ethics and rape.
He raped someone? Oh no, he didn't. He sent nudes. Oh, well then, who cares? You also risk getting sued for calling it rape, but that's just me sweeping, I guess. Common sense is sweeping. He says I shouldn't reach out to Destiny for comment.
Reaching out for comment can be helpful sometimes. However, it is not the ultimate journalistic tool, especially when we're talking about a guy with the nickname Epstein. You shouldn't reach out to Destiny for interview on his crimes for the same reason.
Yeah, Willy, why are you obsessing over this tiny little video? You need to touch grass, bro. This is kind of creepy and weird how you're online all the time obsessing over these little YouTubers' videos about you.
You shouldn't platform and befriend someone like Mr. Girl. It doesn't really matter if you speak out against touching kids and violence if you befriend and platform people who advocate for such things. You are giving them an opportunity to downplay and normalize their behavior, maybe even make it look cool.
I am investigating a story, reaching out to people to get more information, again, is common sense. If I didn't do that, I'd be no better than President Sunday and Beckett, who didn't reach out to Pixie. Sunday proceeded to slander her horribly because he fundamentally misunderstood the story. Both wound up getting their videos cited in her court document. Quote, the videos include screenshots of private messages of Pixie discussing the situation with friends, and claims that Pixie took hush money, only cares about money, and doesn't care about the other victims of the defendant. All of this is false. That's why it's important.
Yeah, that was definitely the bad part of Sunday's video. Sunday absolutely fucking smeared Pixie with the shit cares about money shit. That was not good. Not good at all.
Pixie took hush money, only cares about money, and doesn't care about the other victims of the defendant. All of this is false. That's why it's important to reach out. You saying that I'm irresponsibly platforming Destiny is ridiculous because this video isn't even out yet. You don't even know how it's gonna end up. You know who's not mad at me? Any of the victims or Pixie. I've been talking to her side as well.
Is that still true? Is that still true? She made a tweet that I don't know if it's about Willy or not. She said, if one more person blatantly lies about me online, I will lose my marbles. She tweeted that earlier.
Well, I'm going to have an on-the-record conversation with her and her legal team in the future. There are people that are so obsessively mad at Destiny, they'd rather me not do a good job when making a video. It's very odd to me.
I'm going to go through a few other clips and then start asking Willy some pointed questions. Knowing the commentary community...
Dude, these questions were so retarded. Oh my god, these questions were so retarded. Oh my god.
They will never be answered.
Well, it's your lucky day.
1. How much and what kind of input did Destiny have on WillyMac's video on Destiny?
Why, like, I hate people like Glitch Poachers just serving WillyMac just like the easiest wins ever. Like, yes, okay, dude, WillyMac is not the smartest fucking guy, and I don't like a lot of his videos. But holy fuck. Yeah, it feels like controlled opposition. It's like so fucking annoying.
Has Destiny had input on WillyMac's other videos?
Destiny has no input on anything I do. Do you think he likes that I'm dragging out this career-defining drama another month? I showed up on one podcast and people think I'm an industry plant. I don't know how to battle this level of delusion.
Okay, so again, like this is the thing, is these questions are so bad. They literally give Willy room to like wiggle away from reasonable criticism. No, you are to some extent beholden to Destiny's audience because you have produced a significant amount of Hassan Piker hate content that you have farmed their audience with. You've appeared on Destiny's stream multiple times. You've had you've had a lot of crossover with Dan Saltman in the last couple of months in terms of things you're pushing. That's what's happening. You have there is a bias. There is an incentive for you to cater to Destiny's audience. Obviously, no reasonable person thinks Destiny is co-writing Willy's videos. Apart from, Glitch Poach isn't a reasonable person. I think he's a reasonable person. No reasonable person thinks this, obviously.
In the initial video, were there parts of the conversation between Destiny and Willy that were left out in an attempt to hide Destiny's influence on the video, particularly in regards to President Sunday and Beckett?
Destiny never brought up President Sunday or Beckett when we talked. Pixie's side did because President Sunday slandered her, and Beckett leaking her document with her intentions to sue before it was ready gave Destiny notice to delete evidence. This is all in her court papers. I knew about this beforehand because I reached out to Pixie and she told me. Crazy how that works.
Yeah, but we knew that. We knew that. Initial video, okay.
WillyMac ever received any funding or payment from Destiny, Dan Saltman, or anyone else associated with Omni?
Because Destiny's lying, Freddy.
Liberal Studios, that's Destiny's media company.
Not a single dollar. Again, why would he pay me to make him look bad? These people are so stupid.
4. Since Nicholas Diorio has given Dan Saltman optical advice.
But I spoke to him and I'm like, listen, the problem with you and Erudite is you guys knew for months, so you've come to terms with this and you've engaged with it. That's not what the public wants to hear a day after they find out. When you start the initial statement being like, guys, rehabilitation is the answer, before anybody gets their licks in, people are gonna fucking hate you.
And considering some of the other behind-the-scenes conversations that the commentary community has had with Dan Saltman regarding his lawfare against Twitch, among other details alluding to collusion, can WillyMac speak to the collusion between the commentary community, Ethan Klein, Destiny, Dan Saltman, and Omni-Liberal Studios?
I'm guessing this guy also thinks a cabal of Jews secretly run the world, because that's the same logic. I've never even spoken to Ethan. I think Nick talked to Destiny once on a panel. Does this mean I can never go on someone else's podcast or show?
I feel like there was another version of this question that I came up with that was like way better at getting a criticism. I can't remember what it was. I think I said on Jason's stream at some point when we watched the Glitch Poach video.
Again, because if the person ever gets in a scandal, that means I'm best friends with them. You're all way too parasocial.
5. How much has the commentary community, people like Nicholas Diorio, talked about avoiding backlash from Destiny's community or being fearful of Destiny's community or something along those lines? Can Willy elaborate on that hidden influence of fear within his community?
Look what happened with Chud Logic and Lauren Southern. He had Melina coming to him and telling him these things directly, and he was
Sister, and the thing is that while Destiny did make a sort of derogatory comment about Pixie's blowjob skills when sharing the video with Rose, he didn't share it with the intent to humiliate, right? He made a comment as he was sharing it that was like kind of mean, but I don't think you can argue that sharing with the intent to humiliate, really.
Put in a position where he can either eat shit and be hated by that community and lose a huge percentage of his audience, to the point where I had to pick up the other half of the slack and like help him out, right, to keep him afloat, or he could just leak those messages and be justified immediately, and it would start like a huge conflict. And I guess he did the right thing by loyalty.
This guy is completely taking Nick out of context. Nick is giving the sound advice to not go forward with the story unless the victim is willing to go public as well. Is he really saying he disagrees with that? This YouTuber is bad.
No, but okay. It's not just that. It's that Nick is sitting there saying that he is terrified of Destiny's community. Okay, look, I don't think it's not that crazy. Okay, we can admit it's all. Everyone's past it now. Nick and Tom and all these people were a little bit afraid of how Destiny's community would react if they said something wrong.
Had faith or has an IQ in the single digits. This fan fiction is out of control. I've never had a conversation about being afraid of Destiny. Destiny doesn't even have 1 million subscribers. I talk about bigger, more combative people all the time. Realistically, what is there to be scared of? We make YouTube videos. It's not that serious.
It's time that we get an understanding of just how much coordination, fear, and middle school shenanigans go into making it seem like someone like WillyMac is a journalist, like Destiny is a real political pundit, like Diorio is a media actor.
Dude, this is an awesome clip. The birthday boy Nick. Birthday boy
like
Nick.
Diorio is a media expert. They're
I
not.
love this clip, man. I love the birthday boy clip.
Is a real political pundit. Like Diorio is a media expert. They're not.
Other people call me a journalist because I aim for the incredibly low bar of reaching out, which you don't even want me to do. Destiny is a political pundit. What do you think?
Pundit. Said the word wrong. Pundit.
Political pundit is. All
pundit
it means is
said
someone
it
who
wrong
talks
twice.
about
Pundit.
politics with authority. And I've never heard anyone refer to Nick as a media expert. I don't even know what a media expert means.
If WillyMac doesn't answer these questions, and I'm betting he won't, then I would advise everyone to disregard his coverage of Destiny. He is too close to him to be reliable.
Well, there you go. I answered them, you absolute schizophrenic. This is all unhinged. It's like when J-Stock was asking me why I didn't cover Cherry in my video.
I don't think you worked very hard on this video. And like, for example, you know, you didn't really include much of the Cherry stuff, which is required, which is what really shook this whole situation up.
When I point out that I did include the Cherry stuff, he says I missed important tweets, so I asked him to link me them.
She tells you explicitly, apparently, that
she didn't tell me explicitly anything.
So they're crazy, just like just hating J-Stock at the end, just beating on J-Stock at the end. It's fucked up.
If there's anything you want from me, I will post it publicly. And she had.
And I did look at her tweets. All right, link me her tweet right now. That's the big thing with all the information.
I don't know if there's like an archival tweet for this, but there were tweets about it, right?
Wait, you can't look at more than one tweet?
Can you find it now? He couldn't link me a tweet because I didn't miss anything. He then says I should have reached out to him about
it. Did he? I literally, I don't want to fucking, I don't know whether he missed anything. What did he miss? What's the claim that he missed?
For this, but there were tweets about it, right?
Wait, you can't look at more than one tweet?
I don't even know what we're arguing about.
He couldn't link me a tweet because I didn't miss anything. He then says I should have reached out to him about Cherry.
There are a ton of people around Cherry who could have given you information. Me specifically, I was like,
I don't know who the fucking people are, bro.
Why would I go to a secondhand source about Cherry's allegations? That's literally how Sunday screwed up his video. But then I realized J-Stock only had this opinion because he didn't watch my video.
Like, I didn't like prepare that.
Oh no, J-Stock's caught. J-Stock's caught.
In any way. And like I said, I didn't even watch the full video yet. I done my like click through, like my little quick skimming.
Cherry then crashed out against J-Stock after this with these insane tweets. I think J-Stock, Destiny, and every other person in my life is trying to get me to kill myself. I think when J-Stock told me I'm Wreckful and he's Dr. K and he promises to be my friend for 2 years no matter what, because he often blocks me if I disagree with him or don't do what he wants me to do. He means for me to depend on him, so I eventually kill myself like Wreckful did. Wow, J-Stock, you seem like you're doing great work over there.
J-Stock's raped. J-Stock just got totally raped there. Okay, that's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. I won't be defending any of that. That's unfortunate.
The reality is, this isn't a career-ending drama, but it is defining. Every time his name comes up, people will bring up this situation, and they are correct in doing so. You can't demand accountability of people where week after week he demands it of all these Republicans, but then in your own personal life, you're just excusing your actions with implied consent, which is just an excuse to share nudes of other people. It's caused real harm to Pixie that he has in the past acknowledged. So I want to wrap up with, do I think Destiny has a pattern of abuse? Well, he sexually assaulted a woman on stream, apologized, then years later slandered Anna on stream while sexting her. She doesn't describe it as abuse, but I still think it's pretty bad. Dan, Destiny's co-host, advocated for his wife to leave him.
I'll say this also. I think Steven was a really shitty husband.
Why the fuck did Dan say this? This is one of those things where I'm just like, Dan, like, I appreciate you keeping it a buck, but that's your friend, right? Like, you didn't have to go that far. Well, I just wanted you to accurately describe it. This is like you're just giving me extra details I just didn't even need to know.
Advocated for his wife to leave him.
I'll say this also. I think Steven was a really shitty husband to Melina, okay? I'm coming out here saying it right now. I don't think Steve would deny
I would say right now, he's a piece of shit.
it either, but it's not good. The way that he was. Like, I talked with Melina.
He's worse than you guys even realize.
I don't think Steve would deny it either, but it's not good. The way that he was. Like, I talked with Melina a lot of times.
Hands up gets me every time. It's brilliant.
I'm coming out here saying it right now. I don't think Steve would deny it either, but it's not good. The way that he was. Like, I talked with Melina a lot of times, and she was crying and miserable and everything else. And Steve would say, what do you want me to say? I'm a selfish motherfucker. That's why I'm in the relationship
we love
that I'm
that.
in. He was like,
we do love that.
What should I do? Should I leave? And I'll tell you this, I never was like, I was never like, no, you should stay and make things out. I told her multiple times, like, listen, if you feel like this is an abusive relationship, get the f out of there.
So I don't think I'm sold on it being a pattern of abuse because they're different things and we really don't know the details with Melina. But if other people think this all proves a pattern, I'm not going to argue with them. The clear pattern to me is that—
Okay, I think he's kind of missing the point of the pattern. He's kind of missing the point of the pattern. The pattern isn't just he's done several abusive things over the course of time. I think the pattern is more in specifically his relations with, like, female streamers, where they come on stream, he works them up into a fucking frenzy, gets them hated by his community, then sort of, like, plays coy with the edge in DMs, you know? It's like that sort of dynamic people mean when they're doing the pattern of abuse.
that Destiny is always sharing nudes, whether it's blue tea or threatening Anna with hers or sharing Pixies, Stasia's, Melina's, Cherry's. Anna claims that she received other girls' nudes that she didn't know. Was this also without consent? We'll probably never find out. He has to apologize at some point, hopefully when the trial is over. It's like Sneeko calling out people for being heartless while he says Hitler did nothing wrong. Or him calling OnlyFans girls hurrah but hanging out with them all the time. It may seem like an extreme example, but Destiny has victims and Sneeko doesn't. Contemplate that. As far as people just watching Destiny for his politics, I think that's fine. Turns out there's a lot of hypocrites in the political space. At the end of the day, I'm not here to be anyone's friend or enemy. I'm here to get a laugh, shed light on a story.
Just remember the fact. Just remember that this part of the video last time was, guys, Destiny's not that bad. Hassan and Vosh are really bad. Did you think about that? Think of how bad Hassan and Vosh are. Destiny's not that bad, right, guys? Remember that was in the last video. That was what was in the last video. Remember that?
And do a good job. So subscribe to the channel and be sure to check out Aura. Shout out to the homies over on Patreon: Crimson Glass, Riveter, Christina Vina, Mac Monkey, Drankobex, Necro Valley, The Confusing Opinion, Eddie Bizzle, Tismic Fitz, Christopher H, Senial Music, Lucas If, ET Automatic, Snoopy Poop Doop 2, Amura.
Wow. I would say that's like a 7 out of 10. Like a 7 or 7.5. I would say 7.5. No, I gave the content cop on I gave the iDubbbz content cop a 6 in the end. There was misinformation. I gave it a 7. I gave it a 7 initially, and I downgraded it to a 6. What was missing from it? What was missing from it that downgrades it to a lower score? I'm willing to hear arguments. I think most of it was there. I think the arguments were good. He fucked up some of the factual things, like just like a little bit, but they weren't so far off. And there was evidence that he didn't have that could have proved points better. But I think fundamentally he got the reasoning and he got enough evidence to back it up. The interviews were not good, but I don't think the interviews are pretty terrible. Like, I mean, I don't expect Willy to do good interviews. It looked like basically what he did is he went into the interviews with not a lot of information and then researched after to disprove the stuff they were saying in the video. Whereas the best thing to do really is to make sure you're fully aware of the facts before you go into the interview so you can ask the best questions possible. Well, the content cop was a 6 out of 10. I usually evaluate, there's like a modifier for like what were they trying to do. iDubbbz was trying to do a more boring shit, not making fun of people content cop. So I accept that that's part of the setup. How is he not being dog walked? Is he being dog walked here? Let's see.
But if she's crying and at the same time you're sexting her.
I don't know if that ever happened at the same time. What do you mean by same time? These are like weeks. These incidences are happening like weeks apart.
Yeah, no, that's what I was saying. He is getting dog walked in the interviews a little bit. But he disproves it with research after the fact. Obviously, ideally, you should know the facts when you go in here and be able to catch Destiny and say, what about this? What about this? Ideally. But the video is not too bad because he does counter this stuff in the video. Yeah, I would personally, obviously I imagine Willy would probably deny this because he doesn't want to give any wins because he is just like kind of a smug like retard who can't engage. As much as I think this video was way better, he is kind of like that. So I don't think he would admit that getting some shit for the last one encouraged him to do better on this one. But I don't see that this isn't like the difference between this video and the last one is just so obscene that I can't imagine he would have just defaulted to making this video. And Nick was telling him that it was all totally fine, that there's nothing wrong with the last video at all. So, and Nick is usually the one that's in his ear telling him what to do, as far as I can figure out from public statements. So, okay. What is Next on the agenda. Kingdom Come Deliverance fucking gay. Is there proof of that? Ethan Healer told Lena not to do Creator Clash 3. She said she feels bad for her opponent. Ethan told her our audience will be upset if you fight. Dude. If that's true, that's pretty crazy. Sick has a whole long tweet going at Destiny. Go look at that if you want to see. Don't go at Destiny, go at WillyMac. I mean, maybe there's good criticisms, but I don't read Sick's annoying schizo posts. So I'll let Willy figure that one out himself. Good vid. For clarification, Destiny kept calling me a liar and saying this is Lav. Saying wildly outlandish things to make himself look good. One of the points he tried to dig through was that I lied about what his dick looked like because he couldn't handle the fact that I wouldn't sleep with him because I was so grossed out by his penis. He even claimed I basically raped him on the night we met up because I wanted it so bad, but it hurt his ego so bad. We fought about it online for an hour publicly. Part of it was advantageous for his dick pic to leak that it proved I was telling the truth. Tried to make me look like a completely untrustworthy narrator. The second his dick leaked, people contacted me in droves with, "Oh shit, you weren't lying. What else were you not lying about?" Which makes me seem a little less scorned than what you mentioned in the video. But overall, good stuff. So you guys, actually, she had to post pictures of Destiny's cock around because he said she was lying about him having a gross cock. Love.